Dehumidifier.
We are recording.
All right, we recording.
That's horrible. You'd have never made it in the 80s.
Oh, man. But guess what? I'm going to leave it in. Y'all going to see that at the beginning of the video.
Yeah.
All right, we back.
Fellas, we got
Let's go. All right. We are back.
a lot of stuff going on.
There's a lot of stuff going on. People in there feeling, people out here trending, people out here talking. Let's get it. So, welcome back to the show. So, how you guys doing? Doing good. We got our water. We got our chip. I got my
I got the munchies.
beer. So
He said unnamed beer.
maybe you can't see the top.
Not a sponsor.
No, it's not.
For the record, I got roasted before I even knew I was coming here. So I'm going to be eating these chips.
Oh yeah.
That's not going to be very good in the audio at all.
What, the chips?
Yeah, you chewing them chips.
Oh,
And then you right in front of that super powerful microphone.
oh, okay. I'll tell you what. I'll move this on back there. There you go.
That's crazy.
I'm going to eat them back here. Y'all can hit it. Yeah.
All
Sorry.
right, we going straight into the meat and potato bowl. Carmelo Anthony. This case has hit the nation. We got people talking, got people looking, got people hearing, got people spewing out their guts, giving their opinion, giving their side. They upset, they mad, they happy.
So what's your opinion?
My opinion, I mean, it's a number of different areas. Right off the back, like my opinion, based on what I saw, he went into Austin team tent. He was the aggressor. This is cut and dry. Like, can he claim self-defense? No, you cannot. You cannot claim self-defense in this one. I know black people like to try to put that out there and try to claim that. This is not self-defense. They knew each other. They had friends there, people in the background, their entourage, girlfriend, the guy, she knew him. She knew everybody else. Like this is not self-defense. I'm not saying well, I'm not going to say I'm finna side with the black people and be like, we stand by our own. Like, no, this is not one of those cases at all in any way, shape, or form, by any means. This is not that. I'm not sure why black people try to throw that card out there like we have to stick by our own. We do. We most definitely do, but we see how it turns out. I think one of the number one things that we do got to realize is the misinformation that's out there, how bad it is, because I know I was trying to look up some of the information to talk about it so I can have some of the facts straight or, try. But, of course, I go to Google and chat GPT, and one of the first things I did was look up, was it an all-white juror? And of course, Google and Chat GPT says, yes, it is an all-white juror. But of course, I know it's not an all-white juror. Like it has some
Jury.
I'm sorry. It's not an all-white jury. So
It wasn't.
it wasn't. It had a mixed and diverse group. No black people, but it had Asian people, it had Indian people, and some other people. But that's the notion that it try to push out there. And that's why a lot of information and misinformation that goes out, when you use these platforms, you have to do your due diligence and actually search for these information. Stop going to these blogs out here. Stop going to, even these podcasts, because they get it wrong as well. I mean, we all going to get it wrong.
And could you tell them why there were no black people on the jury?
Based on some of the information that I looked up, is the 2 or 3 black jury that they had with school teachers, I believe, and then they somewhat felt that they were going to look at the kids, look at them as kids, and they were being tried, or he was being tried as an adult. I understand the process of picking a juror to be on a jury. Because you do have that notion that if I'm a black person, I'm going to defend the black person automatically. If I'm a white person, I'm going to defend the white person automatically. This falls.
I think that's a thing that the outside people automatically assume.
This kind of applied to if it's a case where it's a police officer involved. They're going to back their own. Same for firefighters. Same for anything else. But I'm not sure. Like, do you think we are getting into that area to where if something like this happened, we have to stand by our own automatically? Because I was watching another podcast in which some of these other groups out here, like these sex offenders, like they do the same thing. Like they have some people on their show and they say, hey, if they get picked for a jury trial and it's for a case with a sex offender, they're gonna defend their own because they understand the mindset.
Because I don't think
Yeah.
the convicts can be on a jury.
Well,
just like they can't, they lose their right to vote and lose
yeah,
their
they
right
lose
to have.
if they're convicted. But some of them know, you know, if you're a police officer and you're going to a case in another state.
I think that's a separate thing.
Yeah,
versus just like being the same race of a person. But to answer your question, like it depends on it depends on how you define stand by your own. Because when I think of standing by someone or, you know, being loyal to, you know, someone, that includes the good and the bad.
Yes.
And that includes also telling that person when they're wrong and holding them accountable for it. And that doesn't just mean, you know, hey, whenever, you know, if that person fucks up, it's just like, oh, well, you know, I'm never gonna, you know, say anything bad to you or about you because, you know, I'm standing by you or whatever. It's like, no, like when you fuck up, to me at least, like when you fuck up, if I care about you, that's gonna make me want to, you know, call you out even more. It may not be in a public, you know, a public standing. It may not be, you know, I'm a, you know, shot up on the rooftops like, hey, you know, I'm this person's X, Y, and Z, and I think that they're wrong for, you know, whatever they did or whatever. But in private, I'm, you know, pull you to the side like, yo, you wrong for that. Like, you were wrong, and whatever, you know, consequences come your way, you're gonna have to learn how to deal with that. Now, I'll sit with you, you know, through that, and, you know, and I'll, you know, sit by your side and be like, yo, look, all right, you fucked up. Now let's see how we can, you know, get you back to, you know, a place of good moral standing or, you know, integrity or whatever. Let's see how we can get you right. That's my, you know, when I say, you know, stand by somebody or solidarity or, you know, any of that stuff. That's what my you know, image of that comes in. Yeah. Now, not everybody looks at it like that. A lot of people, or at least the loudest people that get the attention and they get the news coverage and they get, you know, their videos shared all across social media. A lot of them, those times, their idea of solidarity is, oh, this person can do no wrong, and this person is you know, is a victim in this situation. This person had no choice to do whatever they did, and that's not, you know, that's not the case. The case should be understanding, hey, you know, I'm gonna stand by you even though you were wrong, and let's figure out how to get you back on the right side. After you know, come to terms with, you know, what you did, you know, that was wrong. It's like, have some accountability.
Yeah. And that's the key word.
Do you think people are just reacting to the fact that he's black and he's in this situation, or do you think they're at all in any way, shape, or form reacting to the facts? Because when you hear people talk about this situation, I don't hear them say, you know, of course they're going to bring up the notion, well, he had a pocket knife, or and that too, if I want to touch on it, they keep saying the pocket knife is not a weapon. Like no, it is a weapon. The pocket knife is a weapon.
Who is they? That's one thing when I was when I was very strategic when I said it seemed like the loudest people are the ones that you know, the people with the strongest opinion and with certain opinions are the ones that get pushed out. And then those are the voices that you hear. So then it becomes, oh, black people feel like X, Y, and Z. And it's like, no, it ain't black people feel like X, Y, and Z about this case. I've seen tons of it since I looked it up, and now the shit's popping up all on my feed. I've seen tons of black people that saying, hey, look, yo, he was wrong for that. Like, maybe I don't think that he, you know, went there with the intention of doing X, Y, and Z or whatever, but no, he was wrong. Oh yeah. And we got to do this. So that's what I'm saying when you say, you know, they think or people think, and it's just like, yo, oh yeah, it's more than just those few people that are saying that dumb shit like, oh, a knife is not a weapon, pocket knife isn't a weapon. Come on now. Yeah, those are the most ridiculous people that are getting platform.
I agree, but anybody that's watching right now, like that knife he had, is a weapon because he can't bring that shit through a metal detector. You can't go into a federal building with that shit. They're going to take it from you. And some people say, well, you know, it's just a pocket knife and it goes into your pocket. All these kids had that when they were growing up. Yeah, I had that shit when I went to Chinatown and I was going to the, you know, the weapon store to try to buy like a sword or a dagger or any of that shit. I brought me a pocket knife and guess what? That shit's sharp as fuck.
Yeah, when you get it from Chinatown,
for like 2 days.
I was scared.
I
was scared to have that shit. Like I was scared to have that shit in my pocket because I was scared that shit was gonna pop open and I get stabbed in my leg. Like that shit sharp as fuck. Like it is not just a regular tool. Like it's, you know, some people say, well, it was on the same line as a utility blade. Like, no, the fuck it's not. A utility blade will cut your ass too.
He once killed a guy, 3 men with a fucking pencil.
Like,
who
that
the
blade
fuck
is
can do
fucking
that?
sharp as hell. Like, I don't care what anyone said. That blade is very fucking sharp. For him to carry that around into the school, whether if he went through the school main entrance, like they probably would have took that shit from him. He probably came to the side because he was doing some track meet. I don't even know if that was, were they at a
it was like a
neighbor school or they?
It was a school function there, but he didn't go to that school.
Yeah, he didn't go to the school. Like it's just like some stuff like that, but that it still doesn't make sense. Like this is
no, it doesn't. But at the same time, it was like he had. It's like you got the right to to carry it and not to carrying something as all three of us know. It's like we have the right to carry weapons, but that doesn't mean automatically mean we have intention on using it to cause damage or cause harm to somebody. Now, I would assume that the purpose of having it on you would be for self defense or protection. Now, once you come onto school property, that's a separate issue. Like, yeah, like you shouldn't be having it on you, but at the same time, it's just like, how many people, if you want to be realistic, how many people who have concealed carry cards leave their gun in the car every time they walk into an establishment that sells more than 50% alcohol?
You're not bringing that shit, no.
What?
I wouldn't bring it.
Wait, you on a very small margin.
You wouldn't.
If you go into the law is, if an establishment gets more than 50% of its sales from alcohol, you are not allowed to carry your weapon into that establishment.
I thought you couldn't carry under any if they served alcohol.
If they have over 50% of their revenue is alcohol, you're not allowed to carry
how would
that
you know that? So if you go to a restaurant and you just got to guess how much they
that's
serve
what the law is. I mean,
I'm not down. I'm not.
No. I get you.
Yeah.
And when I learned it, when they taught it, I was like, that's pretty.
Much
vague, but it's like I get it. I get the reason behind it because it's like, hey,
right, you get tipsy or whatever.
But it's just like, if you want to be real, how many people you go to a bar, with a buddy and or just to go hang out, how many people are actually gonna leave their gun in the car? And it's like I don't think that that's going to be a very large percentage.
I mean, if I know I'm drinking because I have a FOIA card, I'm not bringing my gun with me, even if I have a concealed carry. I know I'm finna go drinking and I'm finna go have a good time. I would not.
See, that's different. I'm not specifically saying if you going like, hey man, we getting fucked up tonight, and like. You put your pistol on your hip. No, that's completely stupid and irresponsible.
Yeah, I was like, because I let everybody know my wife is a better shot anyway, so I'm getting fucked up.
If you go, and even not to say that, even if you go to a restaurant and go to a nice restaurant, and we all know alcohol costs about 4 or 5 times more than the food costs. So it's like you got a pretty good bet that that establishment sells more than 50% of their revenue in alcohol. And it's like, you go in that restaurant. Personally, I'm not taking my, leaving my pistol in the car just because, I'm going to eat at this restaurant and, they sell alcohol in it. So it's just
but you're knowingly prior to you leaving the house that you're going to go drink.
No, I'm talking about if you go in a restaurant, because the law is any place that sells alcohol over 50%.
I wouldn't even think that far ahead. No,
but you have to because it's the law. And they expect you to.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest with you, something else. And like the both of you taking classes sitting through them. I was like, after reading off the list, especially here in Illinois and Chicago, it's like it's almost pointless at times unless you know exactly where you're going to put that to
It's almost
make
pointless.
that.
You can't go in the parking lots.
Yeah, you can't. There's so many places you can't go. Department store, and then it's like you said, you're taking that chance and making that decision if I do it or not. Right. Am I willing to take this risk? Now, with that said, the same thing going back to this case with this kid stabbing the other kid. It's like you took that risk.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like, and this is what it turns out to be. And everybody complaining about it in terms of, oh, it's a black kid and oh, he getting locked up and dude shouldn't have stepped to him. I was like, okay, well, let's take it one step for going back. Anybody that plays sports, I know I did when I was in high school, you did. When you was in high school, you did. Did y'all go to the opponent's side and go sit down and chill?
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That didn't happen in my
all the time.
And so y'all just conversed and went and hung out at each other's bench.
Not make it awkward, but like, hey, how you doing? You know,
I mean, it wasn't.
No, I'm talking about hanging out and just sitting there.
Yeah, they would come to ours, then we would go to theirs, and you know, especially like football and stuff, and talk shit, hang out sometimes. It was never like, okay, of course there were going to be times where, you know, somebody. But you
knew, and you knew these people prior.
You would know them.
You would know of them. It wouldn't, especially like, you know, because of how far especially with the sports, like how far apart, spread out that they may be or whatever, and it's like you would know of them, especially if you played in games against them and stuff, and it's like you would recognize like, yo, man, hey, he kind of good, like. Yo, holler him after. Like, wait, yo, what you doing? Like, how you?
I'm talking about during the game.
During the game, after the game, even if it wasn't a game that we were participating in. We just heard Steinmetz had a game or Lane Tech had a game or something. And it was like, you want to go hang out, watch their game, whatever? Yeah, let's go.
Back in the day, we would have never went and sat on Lane Tech's side ever.
No, I mean, we necessarily sitting on a side. We was just there to watch the game, hang out or whatever. And yeah, every now and then a fight broke out because it was just like stupid kids being stupid kids. It's like every now and then it was a fight almost every day, but this is like that's what fucking high school kids do, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's like
there's no disagreement in that. But what I'm trying to understand that at any time where you told to leave, if you are at an opponent's side, they feel at any time where y'all told to leave, like, hey, y'all can't be over here, y'all got to go back to y'all side.
Go
ahead.
I say eventually when we know the game's about to start and that they're about to go over plays or talk about certain things, they didn't have to say it. You would know, like, all right, let me go back over here on my side. Like it's time. Like, all right.
But if you were told to,
but from my side, like there has been times where we were told like, all right, look, y'all don't go here, y'all got to go, but it was by staff. In security, and it was because somebody had caused a ruckus at some point. It wasn't just because they knew we didn't go to the school or or any of that. It's like, yeah, this may be a school function, but it's still a public function. So it's just like us being there is no different from the players' parents or friends being there, people that's there to support the team. It's really no different. It's like we there. If we ain't causing no problems, it's no issue. But in this particular instance, it wasn't the staff that was telling, Carmelo to leave. It was the other kids. Yeah. Now, whatever beef they may have had that led to him saying, hey, I don't want you here or whatever, it's like, that's, between them two.
So are you saying that he had a right to be there in terms of sitting down?
Absolutely. It's a public event. If it's not a ticketed or a private event, where it's like, hey, only people from the school are supposed to be here or allowed to be here.
But the team tent is what we're talking about.
Right. We're talking about the team's tent.
Meaning
when you assembled to your area for your team to get ready for the game, you have a team tent.
No, I get that. So he was inside the tent?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought he was just at the game and saw him and was like, yo, you shouldn't be here.
Maybe
leave.
Yeah, maybe this is good thing that. And so you're saying you don't know the entire story behind it?
Like I said, I remember hearing about it when it first happened.
Okay.
And then I have not heard about it until you guys text me. It was like,
this
yo,
is
what's
cool.
going on with that?
Because I want to ask this question and leading up because you're kind of new to the whole thing. So it's easier to ask you because you're a very logical thinking person. So that's what the result that we'll get it out of this.
Right.
And please, as we tell this story, make sure that everything is correct and online.
Yeah,
That mean we could pull it up. Right. So the understanding is this, and I won't even use any names. Kid goes to a track meet. Other kids at a track meet. There's a storm coming, there's rain, and kids do what kids do and they scatter. One kid decides to go under another team's tent. He sits at team's tent and don't know anybody. Supposedly.
Okay.
This is the supposedly. He's sitting down, he's approached multiple times because nobody knows who this kid is and he's from a different school. He needs to be with his teammates or his schoolmates. He's asked repeatedly, hey, you don't go to this school. We don't know, you're not on our team. We don't know you. Could you please leave? He was asked multiple times. They say up to 15 times. To me, it only take 3. Hey, I'm sorry, we don't know you. You're not part of our team. You need to go back to where. And his supposedly, allegedly, if I'm correct, response was, I'm not moving. I'm not doing anything. Hey, could you please leave? Hey, man, fuck you. I'm not moving. So then somebody who is supposedly considered a leader because he was a senior and he was one of these kids that you would look up to. He's 6'1", big dude. But he goes and decides to take it under his control. Hey, man, dude, for real, you're not supposed to be here. And then supposedly, dude says, hey, put your hands on me and see what happens to you. The kid puts his hands on him in terms of a shoulder. I put my hand on your shoulder. They said it happened so quick, they didn't even know the kid got stabbed. It was just the one motion, Duke, kid takes off running. Now, kid drops dead, everything else, it happens.
So from what I did look it up, I thought it was a shove. I thought it was
a shove or something along the end.
Was it just putting a hand on the shoulder, or was it a shove? Because I find just placing your hand on the shoulder after you didn't.
Let's say it was a shove.
Kick this guy out.
And there was a girl there as well that knew both of them. So if something and some of the other teammates or some of his own people were trying to, look at the situation and say, hey, maybe when your friend is fucking up and you're trying to get him to stop doing something stupid, like, hey, nah, come on, like, let's go back on this side. Even some of his own friends and the teammates that were trying to de-escalate the situation before the stabbing happened were trying to say, yeah, let's get up out of here.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like
getting rough.
So wait, hold on. So now this is what the other, and I will say the other because I'll get into this later as far as these new black people. That's how I'm referring to them. They claim, and this is after the testimony, you had 21 witnesses sit up there and tell similar stories, and the majority of them are kids. And we have kids. And I can tell you right now, if you 2 kids went upstairs and watched the TV show, and you come and ask both of them, how was the TV show? You getting 2 different stories. So the fact that 21 kids tell a similar story, now all of a sudden to black people, these black people, all of them are lying. They all lying. Oh, that ain't what happened. I saw a 4K video. That ain't but dude went up, they ran up on dude and he had to stab him. And it's like nobody said that. When they went through the jury and the whole trial and everything, the defense didn't say it. The prosecutor, nobody, the witnesses, nobody said this happened. Everybody said pretty much the same thing. Dude was sitting down. He wouldn't get up. Dude told him to get up repeatedly. He shoved him, pushed him. He could have punched him in the nose. That does not give you the right to kill somebody. End of story. Now, how could this has easily been avoided? Because we've had this conversation before when we was talking about Renee Good and that goofy ass Alex Pretty dude. Because you put yourself in a situation and it goes bad. Now everybody else is responsible for it. All three of these cases had ample opportunity not to be there, but you chose to be there. And instead of looking at the fact that black kids don't listen today when you tell them nothing because you can't tell them anything, this is how it ends up. Dude, it's clear as day. When I was going to school at sporting events, we did not go sit on the other side. They were our enemy. I don't care if it was a track meet, football game, gymnastics, it don't matter. They are our enemy. We are not here to be friends. That's how we took it. And we never went and crossed lines in the middle of an event and went, hey man, what's up with you? Like, yeah, what you want? Oh man, what y'all cheerleaders look like? We never did that.
Oh, I ain't say I did all that though.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying it's like we were given instructions and we followed them. And if somebody did tell us, especially back in the day, somebody else coach walked up or anybody, hey, you don't belong over here. You know, you got to go. All right, cool, no problem, no beat.
So did any of the adults or staff members or anything say anything to the kid?
I don't think they were there.
So
It was just the kids coming up.
So that sound like
it
sound like something a kid nowadays. Well, yeah, more so nowadays.
Yeah,
any kid, black or white, because it's like all the ass is fucking out of control nowadays.
Yeah.
But it's just like it sounds like some dumb stuff a kid nowadays would do because they feel like, you know, you can't do anything to me. And like, what you gonna do? Like, make me? And it's like, I feel like that's the kids of this generation's mentality nowadays. It's like somebody says something, you know, or gives them a correction. It's like, make me, or especially if they don't understand why. Like they need you know, they need you to break down every single detail of a reason why you telling them to do this or not to do this before they even willing to consider listening to what you got to say. And then especially if you don't hold a what they perceive as a real authority over them. So it's like for him in this particular case, it's like I wouldn't imagine any other kid like just not any other kid, because obviously, like you said, there was some of his own friends telling him like, hey, come on, let's go. But it's just like that seems like the mentality nowadays is like, I'm gonna do what I want. You're not gonna make me do something else.
Right.
So it's like that's what it led up to. And that's what it seems like from what I'm getting from you guys, is like that's what it seemed like, you know, the intention was, you know, not necessarily to go over there and start a fight, but or maybe, you know, go over there to antagonize or piss somebody off or, you know, knock them off their game or whatever. You said it started raining. So I'm assuming if they thought like the, you know, whatever meet was going to continue on after the rain or something, like, hey, look, let me go rattle their cage or shake them up a little bit or something. Just do something just to throw them off their game.
Yeah, but
that could have been, you know, the intention. And that was the only thing that, you know, I, you know, looked at when they said they were trying to charging him for trying to try him for murder. And I was like, I feel like murder has, from my understanding, I could be wrong. I'm like, I would think murder has an element of intent behind it.
Yep, sure does.
So it's like, I would think, I'm not a law student or law professor and none of that, but I would think that in order to say somebody murdered somebody, you would have to prove that, hey, he went over there with the intent to stab somebody with this knife that he had in his pocket. And it was just like, I don't know. I didn't watch the trial, so I don't know. Like, did the defense, the attorneys actually prove
he was?
And I'm like, apparently they did, because
sure
that's what they came down to. Yeah, I will feel like it'll be difficult to prove that, though, that he went over there with the intent to stab and kill somebody.
He was the aggressor, because when I first heard about the story, of course, I'm trying to look up all the information that I can. I thought, what's the Christian?
Who?
What
the kid that killed, or
they got killed? What's his name?
Austin Metcalf.
When I first looked up the story, I thought Austin was the aggressor, at least from all the stuff that everybody, or Black Twitter, Black Facebook, Instagram, was saying that Austin was the aggressor. This was not the case. Like once I started to look up more of the information and get more facts, Carmelo was the aggressor. He was very aggressive. And you know,
in what way? Because he just said he was sitting there.
he said, I think he was saying like, if you put your hands on me, I forgot.
Yeah. So
right. So
because
it's like I don't see how's that. Like,
because-
don't put your hands on me.
Because
like,
he's letting you know, or at least how they tried to state it in court. He's letting you know, if you put your hands on me, I'm going to do something, whatever that may be.
right.
But the fact that if you put your hands on me or whatever, or you shove me or you touch me or whatever, I'm going to do something to you. My response shouldn't be murder or stab you in the heart with a knife. Typically, when I'm getting into a scuffle with somebody outside.
So I would think that if somebody says, "Hey, if you put your hands on me, something's going to happen to you," that would be a sign to not put your fucking hands on.
But wouldn't that be a still of an intent of murder?
It is. That's what turned it into.
That's what they said turned it into.
Yeah, because you can't sit there and antagonize somebody to attack you, and that's what happened. And regardless of what everybody else want to say or think happened under the tent,
like that the Chud the Builder saying.
Yeah, exactly. That's why his ass ain't getting out of jail. But back to real quick, it's like, so when he sat there and told that it wasn't a group of people ran up on dude and tried to jump him and start socking him, all that shit was a bunch of lies because didn't nobody say it, number one. And they claimed that it was a video. And I was like, well, your defense would have to be stupid as shit not to have found this video. And it's only certain motherfuckers that saw it that ain't got shit to do with it. So how did they see the video? But none of that shit happened. And for you to stand there when somebody asks you to leave because you're not supposed to be here and you tell them to go fuck off, touch me and see what happens. Oh no, now that's intent. Because you know already that you're not supposed to be here. That's step number one. Step number two, you have the opportunity to leave. You're not defending your life for shit because they've given you several opportunities to leave and you chose not to. And you told people if they put their hands on me, see what happens to you is now you becoming the antagonist and posing a threat.
Yeah, I get everything, but I'm like, just that statement alone, it doesn't, just to me personally, because that sounds like something that I would say. If somebody is like, being in my face, and even when we had the discussion last time, it was like, yo, at what point, how much could somebody say to you and be in your face until you like become like physical? And it's like, I feel like that in a situation like that, if I feel like I'm, somebody's like in my face or whatever, I'm like, my response is like, yo, look, you put your hands on me, it's going to be a fucking problem.
Time out real quick. Number one, I don't believe that because you don't have that type of characteristic. You wouldn't go sit somewhere if we went into
about in any type of altercation.
No. But you have to look at it in this particular sense. I was like, no, I agree with you. I'm pretty sure, like, I don't see anybody be like, oh, I'm gonna go fuck with this big ass nigga. Like, out of all the niggas, you gonna go pick the biggest one? I was like, so I don't see that happening to you per se.
I was only specifically referring to just the statement itself. Like, if in any other situation, like, because you said they used that statement as a way to say it went from homicide to murder. I feel like if any other situation and somebody's, saying something, even if it was me sitting on a block or something, like waiting for the bus stop and some niggas walked up and like, yo, you ain't supposed to be over here. What gang you with? Blah, 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 whatever. And they in my face saying, yo, you got to get off this block. And I'm like, yo, I'm sitting here waiting for the bus. Whatever reason I'm there, regardless if these niggas want me here or not. And my thing is, yo, you put your hands on me, it's going to be a fucking problem. And somebody feels the boldness to say, hey, look, I'm going to be the one to do it because I don't think you're going to do nothing. And then they end up on the ground bleeding out. How is that murder on my end?
But we're not saying that's the number one criteria. It's a part of their lawyer, when they present their case to the defense, it's a part of those things. It's a couple of other things, the witness, the testimony, and all the other things that goes into it. And they were saying like, hey, I guess these kids mingled and gringled in the past before. Maybe the girl was involved. Maybe she was talking to him, something on social media. But they're saying that, hey, you get into a scuffle at a bar, you at a club, or like, hey man, calm down. It ain't that serious. Do that give you the right to just stab me right in the chest? What I just did right there?
No,
of course not. But it's just like to a case and a lawyer and a state attorney, they're gonna see that, hey, you were the aggressor. You said not to touch him. We trying to de-escalate the situation. We trying to bring this hot temperature down. Then he gets stabbed, and it happened so fast.
Yeah, but like I said, I thought they said he shoved him. It wasn't a.
It was
a shove.
Yeah, it was a shove.
It was a shove. Like I said, the killer part is it's like everybody, the black community is sitting there. Oh, he got jumped. He got stumped. I was like, no, none of this happened. Nobody even mentioned it in court. None of this shit happened. So why are you continuing with the story? That's number one. Number two, back to your thing where you said if you were at a bus stop and the gang walked up on you, it's like, well, this is really a different scenario.
Yeah,
then I would
it's an extreme, obviously.
But I'm just saying it's like this is a different case scenario. And to your point, case, say for is that did happen, and you did have to stretch some motherfuckers out. So are you saying that you would have stretched them out to kill them, or you'd have knocked them out like fist to cuff?
I mean, I'm gonna do. I'm going to make sure that the threat is eliminated.
Okay.
I'll put it that way.
Okay. So with you saying it that way,
escalates.
Yeah, so but
because even if it's one person that's actually approaching me, that person is not alone.
Yeah.
And in this case, now, like that person wasn't alone either. You got all his teammates behind him, a bunch of jocks and stuff, right?
No, that's not what they said at all.
But I'm saying they're inside a tent. I'm assuming this tent ain't that super big, so they all around.
It was a collective. You know, I don't want to.
Was there a video? Because I feel like I recall
they said it was a video, but like, they said the quality of it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like I remember seeing some kind of like super grainy, like fast twitching kind of video related to this.
But these Negroes lied and said they got a 4K video and you can see everything. Well,
that's an expression. I call it in 4K. That's just an expression.
But that's what these people that were online was talking about, getting others gassed up, saying that they had a 4K video where you could clearly see everything. So you mean to tell me these people that don't know nothing from nobody got to see a 4K video where the defense didn't even have it in the courtroom? It's like that shit doesn't happen. But back to your case, it's like even though you said that would happen, you would do whatever it is for your protection, knowing that you would still have to go to court for it, and you would have to prove that whoever you stretched out on the sidewalk had ill intent towards you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So now it may be the case that you did that, and say if they pat these guys down, that none of them had weapons on them, there was no guns found, no knives or nothing. You just stretched out 4 people, and now you have to go to court and pay the consequences for that. Even though in your mind you was like, hey, that first dude jumped at me.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Like I was saying, I'm like, yo, accountability. Like you did something that you shouldn't have fucking did. But at the same time, it's like my only question about it is stretching from, it's probably not a big stretch, but going from manslaughter to murder.
Right.
And it's just like, because like I said in the beginning, I'm like, I would think murder has some intent behind it. Like
it does.
Hey, like
I
you
thought that
did
was capital murder, which you planned it out.
That's separate. It's different degrees.
Well, yeah, but still
different degrees.
But still, in first degree, that's what they proved is that he had intent, and that's what proved that he had intent.
He had intent to kill him.
No, he had an intent with assault with a deadly weapon. What happens after that is a flip of the coin. He could have stabbed him and dude lived, and he would have got caught up with an assault with a deadly weapon charge. Yeah. But he stabbed him and he died. Doesn't change the fact that he knew if he poked him with something bad wasn't going to happen. He could have poked him with a pair of left-handed toddler scissors. It doesn't matter. You did it with the intent to cause harm to this person. And if they die because of that, well, it ain't their fault that you stabbed them with a pair of toddler scissors. It's your problem because you knew what that stabbing would do to a person.
Yeah, I guess.
And that is why they called it intent, because he told them, because you put your hands on me, see what happens to you. That's intent of murder. You could have left prior to that.
But how far do you think, when we look at a situation like that, how far do you think that the self-defense line get pushed? Because a lot of people are giving their opinions on it, on what they think, being convicted of murder is, but a lot of people also forget that your state is not their state. Their state
in Texas. They got good self-defense laws.
We also have these laws in here that call stand your ground law. That means if I feel like you finna threaten me, I get to shoot you, and then
You don't have to retreat.
Yeah,
unlike in fucking stupid Illinois.
Have to retreat.
You gotta run for your fucking life.
You gotta run in your own house in Chicago.
Yeah, that's dumb as shit.
That's crazy as hell.
You gotta be going to a Call of Duty mission in order. Man, you in the city of Chicago, boy. You gotta go. You gotta get 5 stars. Before the police come after you in this bitch, boy, they'll let you right back out. I got 3 stars. How many you got? I got 5. What'd you do? I robbed the store. I robbed the store and got 5 stars.
So, okay, murder. I did the TLDR version because ChatGPT, they gave me a long ass explanation. But murder, in quotes, I meant to kill them or didn't care if they died. Voluntary manslaughter. I killed them in the heat of the moment after serious provocation. Involuntary manslaughter. I didn't mean to kill them, but my reckless actions caused their death.
Now do that apply for every state?
Almost sound like could have got away with involuntary manslaughter. Wait, what was that one again? Read that one more time.
Murder, I meant to kill them, quote, end quote, but in parentheses it got or I didn't care if they died. Voluntary manslaughter was I killed them in the heat of the moment after serious provocation. Involuntary manslaughter, I didn't mean to kill them, but my reckless actions caused their death.
Yeah.
Wow. That sounds more like sounds more like he would have got involuntary manslaughter.
But I think like those were the two on the table.
Yeah, well,
but that's what I'm gonna think. Like it would be a jump between voluntary or involuntary manslaughter. To
me, it sounds like it would be a jump between murder and involuntary manslaughter. If murder is the definition of murder, you saying that I did something to him and I didn't care if he died. That could all be defined in his actions. You
intentionally kill someone or act with extreme disregard for human life.
There you go. So if he stabbed dude and take off running to a jury or to a lawyer, that would say like, well, the proof is that he stabbed him and took off running. He didn't care. If he had have stabbed him and dude started gurgling, he's like, oh my God, I didn't know I stabbed you in the heart.
He did wait for the police to come or something.
He got caught up by a coach after he took off running.
And it wouldn't be, I stabbed him so I did that so I can hurry up and escape from the situation.
He killed that when he said, hey, touch me and see what happens to you. That's the intent. You knew that you had something that could have ended this situation and dude had his hands. So now you're sitting there saying that, hey, you put your hands on me and I'm a juke you. And dude's like, yeah, you ain't got nothing. And put his hands on him. And dude juked him and took off running. Now, so that could be looked at as murder.
So what do you think about the automatic? I'm going to stand by my people and
man, like I said before.
But some of the people that I see online that voicing their concerns about the issue, like they're not bringing up the fact that he stabbed him. They just say self-defense. Like, are we in the world or are we in no time to where if something happened to a black person and they're forced to say self-defense, are we supposed to automatically stand by them even though we know?
No, but the loudest people in the room.
I just had
the loudest people in the room are going to say yes.
Yeah,
I think the more logical and majority people will understand that no, we have to have a sense of accountability.
So I would ask the people like this to all black people for something they can relate with or relate to. I'm sorry. So you go to your family reunion. And we know how the family reunions are. Mm-hmm. Somebody out of the blue don't nobody know. Say everybody comfortable with it. So we know somebody out of the blue come and sit up under y'all family reunion tent. And Auntie Sheila go over there and be like, who baby is you? And they be like, hey, don't fuck with me, get away from me. And then Uncle Dan go over there and be like, hey, who are you, young man? He like, man, get the fuck away from me. Y'all gonna let him sit under the tent?
Man.
Are y'all going to let him sit under the tent with a bag and don't nobody know him at your family reunion? And that's the closest I can get to it being a track meet and being like outdoors as an example. That would be the closest example. Would you allow some nigga that you don't know sit under your family reunion tent with a book bag telling Auntie Sheila and Uncle Dan to go fuck off somewhere?
Man, I think
That's a good. That's a
I
good.
think in this day and age, and the shit we go through, and the shit we
Niggas, y'all
see,
know as
being
big as
adults-
y'all niggas are,
being adults,
it
though.
would not be that long.
Let
Dan
me
would have
finish.
blocked some shit off. There would have been some tablecloth rapping, and dude would have never been heard of anymore. Y'all know this.
That's not what
No,
I'm finna say.
I fuck that. Y'all niggas know this. If that happened at our family reunion, that nigga would be he would disappear, and you know this.
Especially because I be out in the woods.
Exactly. Especially because half y'all niggas from the west side. I don't feel safe.
Yeah,
But y'all know that would not happen.
That's a good analogy.
I think you do.
But at the same time, it's like.
But
I mean, shit. You got to deal with consequences. Like I said, man, it's accountability. Like
But
to answer your question.
Discernment. You got the kids there. You gotta. Okay, all right. We finna get this motherfucker up out of here. We don't know what he gonna do. You go for the legs. I'm going for the arm.
Man, with all you big niggas, I ain't gonna lie. It's a lot of big niggas on you.
Yeah,
I'm like, damn, no, that nigga's just extra big. Like, what's the point? Y'all would not let no dude sit up under the tent more than 5 minutes, and you're not going to ask them up to 15 times. I'm thinking about 2. First, Auntie Sheila going to go over there, and if she don't take care of the problem right off the bat, then everybody else going to collide in, and then dude just going to be gone.
He going to be stuck there. All right, but I do want to ask.
But I want to answer your question. But like I was saying earlier, we got to stop with the lack of accountability, and and I'm seeing it everywhere, and it's not even a black community thing. I'm seeing it in black people. I'm seeing it in white people. I'm seeing it in women. I'm seeing it in men. I'm seeing it in kids. But I mean, kids are gonna be like they got to grow into the accountability shit. But it's just like across the board, I'm just seeing a lack of accountability in the world that we in. It's like everybody is a victim. Everybody got the right. Everybody feels like they have a right to do, X, Y, and Z without any, pushback or, or even repercussions. And it's just like, no, that's not the way shit works. And I feel like if you love a person, you care about them, it's like you're going to hold them accountable when they fuck up. Because at that point, they do need to. Yeah, mine probably gonna go off in a little bit too.
We got rain over here, y'all.
No, we got some flash flooding type shit.
We've been
But it's like that's what that's to me. That's what love is. It's like holding a person accountable through good and bad. Like, yo, no, you fucked up for that. Like, yo, you.
But see, you're being logical and with morals. We talking about these monkey motherfuckers now that I consider. I'm so glad that this happened and these people turned up there talk about you Uncle Toms and all your sellouts and all that. Thank you now, these people that are out there doing this shit for separating yourselves, because it no longer interferes or upsets black people when they claim that they're not part of the culture or that you're not cool with us because you don't do coon shit. And there's being a divide now where people are now saying, good, you ignorant Negroes, stay the fuck over there on your Section 8 and your government jobs and your SNAP and all this other bullshit. You stay over there and you deal with this dumb shit. The black people that are on a productive scale got to go to work every day, got kids at home, paying bills and all that. We have no time to deal with this silliness. That is just stupid. So thank you for the divide. Mm-hmm. Stay your ass over there. And if this is your culture, you can have it.
See, but the issue with that is just like, it's not going to cause any change, and it's only going to continue to do what it's been doing. Is those people are going to be the only ones that the news reports on. Those people are going to be the only ones that get their videos shared across the country and across the world. And the people who have discernment and who have some common sense, the majority of the black people who have these fucking, again, common sense, is like, we are not going to be looked at as being separate from these people who don't. Because at the end of the day, you still black to them. everybody outside, everybody in this world, black people included. You look at a person, that's the first thing that you notice about a person is their skin color. You do all that pandering bullshit. Oh, I don't see skin color. Fuck all of that. That's the first thing that you notice is a person's skin color. And you don't find out whether they are a good representation of their community or one of the bad statistics until they open up their mouth or you get to know them. Yeah. And even through all of that, it's just like, that is still going to be the leading portrayal of what a black person is. It's like, it don't matter how many people are online and doing positive shit. And that's what I was saying before we started recording. I'm like, yo, I don't see none of this shit. Like when I'm on social media, it's like, this is not the shit that I get in my feed. When I go and scroll through my Instagram, what I see is recently, there was a comedian in New York, a female, and she was doing like, she was like on the L train or subway or something like that. And she was doing, some little video talking like news reporter style type of thing or whatever. She was doing something. And then this homeless dude, like with hella space behind her, like brushed up against her like that and kind of like touched her on the butt or whatever. And she was like, yo, you bugging. Like, what you doing in that New York way there? How they talk or whatever. Like, you bugging. She didn't blow up or act crazy or ghetto or nothing, but she told him like, yo, you bugging. You could have walked around. You doing too much, whatever. And then she was like, you know what? I'm out. I'm not in the mood no more. She cut the video off and went about her day. Not even 24 hours later, there's another black dude. There's another dude that I guess he does social media in New York or whatever. Apparently this homeless dude is like always in the same area. He saw the dude. He was like, yo, you the one that did this, to this black queen or whatever. It's like, yo, you disrespectful, you out of bounds. And she checked him. He grabbed him up like, nah, yo, you need to apologize or whatever. And made him apologize. He was like, no, he's like, I ain't know that was your girl. He's like, no, that ain't my girl. That's a black queen. And you disrespected and you being bogus. You out here wrong. And then he did a little too much. He drug him over to where the cops were standing. He was like, yo, you need to arrest this motherfucker. He sexually assaulted this lady or whatever. And the cops was, I forget how the video ended or whatever. But it's like, I see shit like that. I see shit like a black person in Japan with a caption was like, yo, when you finally spot another nigga that made it out the hood in Japan. And it was just two black dudes that didn't know each other. And one got the meta glasses on. He walked past, the other dude looked up and they was like, psh, and then kept it moving. Gave a high five. Like two black dudes walking down the street in Japan. It was like, yo.
That shit was funny.
It's like, that's the type of shit that I see.
Yeah, I do that at restaurants and golf courses.
And it's like, and I see dude like King Randall. Damn, I can't believe I just forgot his name. But the dude that I had told y'all about that was on Roland Martin's show and talking about that. Yeah. It's like, that man actually opened up his school. Yeah. It's like he started it off with just, mentoring kids in his crib. It's like he opened up an actual school and he's got kids actually learning STEM and trades, and he was like
quicker than Umar Johnson.
Absolutely. And that's what first thing I thought about. Umar Johnson. It was like he actually out here doing this stuff, and it was called the X for Men or something, or X for Boys or something like that.
Oh, well, y'all talk. I'm gonna pull that up real quick.
And now I'm starting to see he's even getting girls into it. And it's just like I just came across a video where he was loading, they had like a camp or something like that. He was loading the girls and he was like, all right, y'all get in the van or whatever. And then there was the girls was just getting into the van. And then one of the girls stopped and she was like, wait, who is that? And was talking about the driver. While all the rest of the girls was hopping in or whatever. And he was like, wait, what you just say? And she was like, who is that? And he was like, who is who? And she was like, that, him, driving. And then one of the other girls was like, a man? And he was like, so you don't know who that is? And she was like, no. He was like, so why y'all just hopping in the van? He's like, y'all don't ever get in the van, get in the car with somebody. And he was like, no, I did this on purpose. It's like, I know who this person is. Y'all don't know this person. Nobody, she was the first one. I did this intentionally to see if anybody was going to recognize, hey, I've never seen this man before. And doing like giving them, knowledge like that. I've seen another one where he took a group of his boys, they went to McDonald's and his buddy was like, yo, I got you. I'm gonna pay for your meal or whatever. So then he started ordering, like he ordered a Big Mac, extra large fry. He was like, I wanted a Slurpee, ice cream cone. I want some extra nuggets and all this other stuff. And then he stopped and he turned to the boys and he was like, what's wrong with this picture? And then one of the boys was like, you doing too much. He was like, exactly. He was like, be courteous. Somebody offer you to do something for you. It's like, you don't go out and do too much. This is the type of shit that I see. I see positive black shit that's going on, but you are never going to see that shit on the internet. On like major blog posts. I ain't never seen that shit
Send me
pop up
those
on
links.
the Shade Room.
Because send me those links. Because
I'm like, I don't see that shit on
prefer to see
TMZ. I don't see that shit on
because there's a reason behind that.
NFL, Fox. No, I don't see that nowhere.
Because it doesn't fit the narrative.
Absolutely, but you a damn sure see something about a black kid killing a white boy in Texas somewhere. You'll see that all over the place. You'll see all the ignorant motherfuckers that's going out slapping fucking people that they think are the jurors in a whole goddamn different state. You will see that dumb shit. Yeah. But you won't see the positive shit that's going on. So our image is going to continuously be these ignorant motherfuckers that have no sense of accountability, no sense of true morals, no fucking common sense. That's all they're going to continue to show us. And unfortunately, we have this propensity to continue to click on it. And the more you click on it, as we all know about these fucking algorithms, it ain't going to do nothing but just keep pumping it to you.
And then definitely now, you get these other social media platforms that comes out that start to pay you for the ignorant shit. And that's what everybody want to see. That's what's trending. You being ignorant, you doing some dumb shit. Right. I think there's another one called kick.com. The most absurd shit I see on there.
I feel like that's old. I feel like I remember seeing about that in high school.
I feel like it's popping back up now.
Yeah, it must have died and somebody
Is that the same KIK kick?
Yeah,
is that what he's saying?
Yeah, I feel like it's popping back up.
It used to be something when I was in high school. It was like for like a little bit, and then it disappeared. I never heard about it again until recently.
And then now, I think now the days, when we look at some of this shit that's going on, we do got to do our due diligence and make sure we vet that shit out. But it's not going to work because.
But then real quick, when I was saying all of that in response to you was saying like, it's good that they are. Doing all of this shit and, they separate yourself from, the black people that got some common sense. It's like, that's only going to work in the eyes of the people that got the black people that got common sense. That's not going to work. And that's not going to trickle out into the greater zeitgeist. Yeah. It's like, it's only going to be.
And I don't care.
You cannot care, but it's just like, it's never going to allow certain opportunities, not that we need to be sitting around waiting for opportunities, but it's just like there are opportunities that could be, presented to black community or black people that are trying to do these things, because that is still the image that is stained on us when a person reads an application and they see a name that's pretty obviously black, or if they come across a guy like about like King Randall and King he's Randall, trying to get
is that what you
I think
said?
That was his name, but I can't. I'm drawing a blank right now.
I'll look it up. Go ahead.
Those are the things that we do have to unfortunately care about as a community of people who actually of black people who got some fucking sense. Because when we, the ones that have sense, try to go out into the world and we may not have the resources and or the capital to fund these things, and we need some outside funding and stuff, it's like we still have that stain on us of these people that are getting all the fucking attention. And it's like, I don't care on a personal level because it doesn't directly affect me. But in the event that, in the eventual upcoming event when I'm ready to start my own business and I need to start, trying to branch out and look for, people that's willing to, reach out and do it, give a motherfucker a loan. It's just like, you still gonna have that stain of you're a black person and this is my image of black people. This is what I'm being fed of from, of black people. And no matter how much, I know you say it all the time, it was like, I don't fuck with them niggas, I don't identify with them, and you can take my black card and all this other shit. It's like, none of that shit matter to nobody except for you, because when a white person looks at you, you're still black. And when you interact with a white person, you're still black, of any other race. And that doesn't necessarily automatically mean that they're racist, but it's still going to be the first thing that they see, and they have an association. Regardless of how many people they do all this shit talking about I got black friends and all this other shit. It's like, Yeah, they're your friends until they try to date your daughter, and then it's gonna be another issue.
Yeah, but
And
now
that's fucking look like Hulk Hogan. It's like he been wrestling with black folks his entire career, and then one try to date his daughter, and all of a sudden, all the niggers and all this other shit, crazy shit start coming out.
Hey, let's be
You
real.
gotta be
Are
rich.
you gonna let niggas run up on your daughter and date your daughter?
I would.
You just gonna let any one of them run it? If he come up with the gold
It
grill,
has
in
nothing
his
to do with the person.
No,
being black.
I'm just asking. No, all right. So
So
a
but
white
the
boy
issue-
show up with the grill in the mouth. Yo, what's up, my man? What's crap? You gonna be like, okay, Ari, y'all be back by.
That's different. That's not my point. The point is of being cool with black people until they cross a certain, they get a little too close.
Well,
and then it's like, then the racist shit starts coming out. Like, oh, I'm fucking dating this nigga and blah, 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 and all this other shit. It was like, yo, you've been making money with niggas for the past 40, 50 years. And you was cool with them then.
I've been around white people since I was like 12 years old, like on a continuous basis. I was raised in the 80s where that's what it was, especially coming from Georgia. So I'm coming from a small town in the middle of nowhere to a big city like here. And I get to see all these different types of races of people and different nationalities, and everybody just want to go outside and play. That was it. There was never in Georgia
kids because they don't learn. They don't.
But hold on, in Georgia, we were in the middle of nowhere, Louisville, Georgia, small town outside Jefferson County. You can look it up. We were in the middle of nowhere. Those people were racist. And I mean, when they get to call you nigger in broad daylight and you in a crowd of people and they point you out nigger and you really can't do nothing about it. My older brother being chased by the sheriff car and he had to do a Dukes of Hazzard through that's racism. That's some fucking racist shit. But I never took that shit and brought it to Chicago. When I got to Chicago and got to meeting different people, Georgia disappeared. That whole mindset of these people hate you that much totally disappeared. I met Indian kids, Mexican kids, Asian kids, white kids, and we all hung out and we kicked it. If we didn't like you, it wasn't because you was black or any of these things. It was because we didn't like you. End of story. So now as I grow up and I meet these people and you saw me interact with some of everybody, and it just doesn't faze me. I'm not trying to borrow no money off of you. I'm not trying to be your friend. I'm not trying to see what you're doing next week or any of that shit. I don't want to go fishing. For the moment that we are together, whether it's 5 minutes or whatever, all I want to do is be cool. After that 5 minutes, I don't care what. You can walk away like, I couldn't stand that nigga. Motherfucking eyes crooked. You could talk whatever it is that you want to say about me. But then that 5 minutes of us conversing, be nice. I'm going to be nice. You be nice. After that 5 minutes is up, we part our ways. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's not my point. I'm not.
No, I'm just saying
it's like a constant, like a immediate thing as we continue to see the certain group of black folks that are always, preaching about and saying that this is their entire world, and it's like that's not reality. I'm just saying that it's a thing that we still, as black people, are going to have to deal with at some point, regardless. It's not.
You saying in group theory? Is that what
I mean, just in general, it's like at some point you're going to interact with a white person who has this image that is being pumped into them and pumped, in their faces of what black people are. And that only goes, I'm only saying that to go back to, you, like what you were saying, like, hey, you're good. Separate yourself from the motherfuckers that actually got some sense. And it's like, that means something to us, but they are still going to be the ones that get put on the fucking platforms. When people of other nationalities think of black person, this is what they've been fucking seeing. Yeah. They're not going to see King Randall, and that's his name, King Randall.
Yeah,
and it's like they're not going to see that in their head. They're not going to see.
I don't know. Patrick Klein of BP seems to think so because he invested money with him.
No, yeah, absolutely. He got a whole bunch of fucking.
He got a whole bunch of.
He got a whole bunch of investors, and it's like that's what he was talking about, fucking on Roland Martin. It's like, yo, stop fucking waiting for the government to give us these handouts and do for self and figure this shit out.
But those are the people that you say are like that are over there, like always on the front end, and that's true. But it's like then too, because I know a lot of white people and I talk to a lot of white people, and trust me, there's no hold bars. And like I said, you've seen it. There's no interaction where they try to make, because they don't think about shit. And here's the killer part that gets me. White people don't think about y'all like that. At all. When we sit there and talk to white people and be like, well, what do you think about black people? They're like, motherfucker, you don't come up on my radar. I'm not worried nothing about a black person unless I have to interact with them and they being an asshole. That's the only time a white person is going. They do not wake up in the morning thinking like, I hope black people don't get their shit together. They just don't think like that.
Well, yeah, that's
well,
like,
racist, but now, what percentage is that? Hold on, what percentage of white people is that? Just like we got racist black people, what percentage of white people is that?
It's probably left to even give it notice to.
Yeah,
absolutely not. You don't think so? The amount of racist people, the amount of racist white people in the United States, speakingly, that wake up and wish for the downfall of black people. I'm not saying none exist, but the amount, if you have to put a number to it, if you have to put a percentage to it.
Yeah, wishing for downfall. That I'm like that's an extreme of racism, but I thought you just saying like the amount of racist white people in the world. I'm like, come on now, cut that shit out. It's like we're not gonna sit here and pretend like the shit don't exist.
Well, I mean,
it's
if
like
that's
just
the
because
case,
you haven't encountered it, and like I be telling you all the time.
No,
like,
I've encountered it. I encountered it.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's because you don't encounter something or you don't have an experience of something. That doesn't mean that the shit does not exist, and it's not something that other people experience. And it's like your experience doesn't negate, somebody else's, but the shit is out there, and it's like to sit here and act like it's not. I feel like it's foolhardy.
Oh yeah,
and then there's those little racist sparks that happen every once in a while when you have an altercation with someone and you don't realize they were being racist until after the fact, like 5 minutes later. You're like, what the fuck? What the fuck he just said? He just
the shit was racist shit.
And you don't realize like those are the individuals that those are the individuals that really don't like experience it or don't see it that often because they realize it later on. But if you keep feeding them that, as you say it, or you go around with individual or see it online, you're going to be more prone to it. You're going to be like, let me go into the Chinese store.
And there's this white dude online, and his whole fucking channel is doing that shit, exposing racist motherfuckers. You go on anybody's page, the amount of shit you don't be on social media, like actual social media outside of YouTube, but you go on certain people's pages. Let's just take one of these, what do they call it? The cosplayers, like the black cosplayer females and stuff. It's like anytime they dress up as a character that's not black, it's like if you look in their comments, the whole thing is like, oh, it would be so much better if it was not a black person. Like the costume would be so much, like the cosplay would be so much more believable if she wasn't black. It would look better if she wasn't black. The character is not black. Stop cosplaying white people. It's like the shit is fucking everywhere. Yeah. So and then there's a guy on, I can't think I don't know his name, but it's like that's what he does. Like he sit there. He's a white dude, by the way, and he go out and he expose these motherfuckers. There's a couple times where he went on there and he didn't even go on the person that made the comment because he acknowledged, he was like, a lot of the percentage of the times the comment may be about a bot. And he was like, no, I'm going to go for the motherfuckers that liked the comment. So he'll go, you can click on the comment and see everybody that liked it. And he'll like scroll through like the hundreds of likes on this racist ass comment. And then just pick one person and open it up. He's like, all right, cool. Found you. This is your time. Go on their page, figure out shit. And I don't know how the fuck he do it. He figure out what's going on. And he exposed him like, yo, you thought this shit was funny. You like, is it funny or like what? What's going on?
Okay, my thing is this. If somebody is racist, which let's say everybody is racist, I'm sure there's no Gandhis walking the planet anymore. There's no somebody that just like everybody and everybody likes this person. So not unless y'all know him by name. I don't know him personally.
Sleeping naked with a bunch of teenage girls or something.
Who, Gandhi?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What?
Yo, man.
You never heard that? You never heard that? Nigga was sleeping naked.
All right, that'll be another show, but allow me to do my research. I didn't. Well,
yeah,
to test his discipline. He just had fucking naked women, naked teenage girls sleeping in the bed with him and shit. All right, well, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm like,
that's a bad example.
Yeah, what? Well, clearly I didn't know, but thank you for educating me.
As I said, you're not looking for it.
You know what exactly? Yeah. I was not looking for it. All I remember
for that shit
was the movie with Ben Kingsley, and he was bald head, and I was like, hey, that's dude from the Avengers. Yeah. So, but I didn't
But no,
know,
yeah, I get
but
your
now I
point.
know. But so my thing is this: everybody is racist. There's no possible way everybody's gonna like
I would say
everybody.
everybody is prejudiced. It's different between
Okay,
prejudice
all
and
right.
racist.
Well, we'll
No, I'm
use
sorry.
prejudice.
I agree. I agree. And every person that's living on this
There's a bit
goddamn
of
planet,
prejudice.
you have a racist bone in you, whether it's
Right.
small,
That's why I said
big.
I differentiated between racist and prejudice.
Now, but with that in mind, do you really give a shit what a racist or a prejudiced person
don't.
think? Then why would any of this bother anybody? If they would get up and find out, this person, and going back to this Carmelo Anthony trial thing, everybody, they racist. And here's the thing: it's like, okay, they are racist. They don't like you. They want you out. They want you gone. Now what? What are you going to do now? Because now that you know that nobody likes you. Nobody liked you. Nobody wants you here, and everybody is against you. Now what? You just gonna sit back and complain about it. And the thing that really gets me is about anybody or everybody, including ourselves, sitting here. It's like, unlike this King Randall dude, it's like we don't have no solutions. Ain't nobody pop up. I have not heard one solution or what one good. All this being mad and angry shit about is gonna solve anything.
That's why if you recall, that's what I've been saying the past couple podcasts. You do all this bullshit and been bitching about stuff. It's like, yo, what's the point? Like, you gonna fucking go out and take some teenage boys into your crib and start mentoring them and teaching them fucking how to weld and
I
build.
give this dude all the respect, and I wish they were more like him. And I wish
there are. The problem is they don't fucking get talked about, and they don't get platformed. They don't get come on fucking ABC in the morning or fucking Fox or whatever, the MSNBC. It's like they don't put him on there. And it's like, even with the Roland Martin shit, it's like the only reason why he had him on his show was to talk shit about him, telling black folks that voting is not the most important thing. It's like he didn't have him on his fucking show to promote his program that he was starting at the time for 2 years ago. And it's like, that's the shit that I'm sure there's a bunch of motherfuckers that's out there doing that.
And you know what? We should make it part of our program to go find these people and hunt them down so we can expose them for the good shit that they do instead of getting these fucked up feeds.
I was thinking about shit. I didn't think you would be able to go along with it. I've been thinking about that today. That's why I was like, yo, let's go ahead and do this record, because I'm rushing through work. I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and get it.
Oh yeah, definitely. It just but I also noticed that black people, we are being, I believe, black people, we are held to a higher standard by all the other races, because, we can play the victim at the same time. We can be guilty at the same time. We can be on the side of the justice. We can be everything that you accuse of us and what we accuse you of. Because now, I'm looking at the, Carmelo Anthony, like I'm even looking at the parents. Like, I'm not sure if you guys are aware that they raised like $900,000.
It was $700,000
or $600,000, and they went to use the money for a relocation for the house for safety. And I think they put like $100,000 for the lawyer. But we are starting to see that more, to where when the tragic thing happened to a black person, or they're going through something, or they do something, like, the families are trying to profit off of it.
Right.
We saw it with George Floyd. We saw it with I forgot the other one that happened to it, where they raised all these money for the family. But I kind of felt like the family didn't even take it seriously. Like, you're more concerned about the money that you have and making sure your son signed the paperwork to say he don't got any money so they can get a proper lawyer. Like, how does that make sense? How does that look to the black people that's supporting you? And you're trying to say all these things and get these people riled up, but then now, it's looking bad on you as a parent. Like, where was the parent at? During the time. Well, I kind of felt like they didn't properly prepare the parent on the stand. They just went in there all limbo. Like, then how you go on the court, you be on the trial, they prep you, talk this way, don't try to make it look like we prepped you or all this other stuff. But then it's like the defense was real shitty, and then now they're trying to blame the lawyer. Like, hey, they listened to what black people were saying. Get you a white lawyer. Right, this white lawyer is going to get you off.
But why?
But that's what people were saying to the family.
But to me, I'm sorry, and this is just to me. This shit looks stupid as hell. Whitey out to get you. Whitey been out to get you before you was born. Whitey was after your grandparents and everybody else. This is the whole thing. Whitey tried to jump your son and he had to defend himself from Whitey and about 6 other Whiteys. And you go get a white lawyer.
And then now they're trying to say the jury was rigged, the judge was rigged, this was rigged, everybody was against him. All the witnesses testify against his son. Like you said, they all said the same story. But if you felt that and leading up to this case during discovery, because they didn't present a good case, why get a white lawyer? Why feed into that
beyond
narrative?
that? So is it any truth to, because I did hear, like I said, as soon as I fucking looked it up, then the shit started popping up in all, in my feed and stuff. So I've been seeing people who were saying like the judge and the district attorney were like buddies with the kids' parents and stuff. Is there any truth to that?
Something along that line. We don't know what exactly is true. And they said, like you said, the teachers, they didn't pick their teachers, but why does that matter? Everybody that's commenting on this case, it's a straightforward case.
I feel like if that is true, I think that would have some merit to look into, like, hey, it might be some kind of
these are, and mind you, these are the same
if it's
people.
True, like I said.
Right. And if it's true, and this is coming from the same people that said dude got jumped by like 5 different people and they stomped them out and all this other crazy shit that there's 4K video. So it's like, no, you don't know what's true at this point, but it's to be expected from people like this once they don't get what they want. So now everybody is a cahoots, which I think is kind of weird. I was like, so everybody knew this kid was going to stab this white boy and then leave him out to bleed. And they just knew this was going to happen. So
this is
they
a small
all
town,
colluded.
Right?
We're not saying he knew.
I'm saying in a
hypothetical.
Yeah,
I'm asking, is this a small county? Because that's what I was hearing. Like, hey, this is a county where most people know each other.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they know each other.
And so, do you think that if
you hired the lawyer?
I'm not talking about.
I'm saying they did. In terms of them, it's like, well, nigga, you hired them.
No, I'm talking about if it was true that the judge and the DA, had some type of relationship with the kid's parents. If this was true, would you think that should be something that would exclude them from presiding over the case?
Well, I think
that would not be a conflict of interest.
I mean, judges and DAs know in every state
already know each other, but judges hold their state's attorney to a certain standard into which you two finna duke it out in court. Make sure you do it right. Make sure you do it fair. Yeah. Don't be doing no bullshit. Hey, don't come to me in my chamber after hours. Yeah, trying to get an extra warrant.
Let's not pretend like judges aren't human
nobody's saying
to being biased in themselves, no matter how many oaths you take and how many everybody's gonna have their bias.
So this will have to be taken into account. If the DA, which and judges and other lawyers, which in pretty much all cases know each other, especially if you're in a small town or county or even here in Chicago, because there are a lot of lawyers that know a lot of judges and vice versa.
I'm not just talking about the judges and DA. I'm talking about they had a friendship or a friendly relationship with the parents of the kid that got that's what I was talking about. I'm not talking about
that's speculated.
Yeah, of course, a judge and a DA are going to have some type of
but
relationship.
Everybody, I guess it happened 3 years ago or 2 years.
What's that? The murder? Oh no, that happened last year.
It was last year. Okay,
but that's still even with that wouldn't change the fact is that you got a jury trial.
That was kind of quick.
And it was like, you're being judged by the jury. They're making the decision. The judge is the referee. He's making sure that both sides play by the rules. Like you said, he's there to make sure that both sides play by the rules. That's it. When he gets the letter, that's what the jury told him that they came up with. They came up with the conclusion that dude was convicted of murder. But so the judge has nothing to do with that. He makes the rules. He said to them, these are the rules of the game. Y'all go read them. This is how we playing it. I don't want to hear no bullshit.
Because I know he put in there, he added in there the possibility of them choosing manslaughter as an alternative to
but he was
murder.
They're probably going off of he was the aggressor. All the witnesses saying the same.
No, I'm talking about as a counter to the judge being biased. I was saying, isn't he the one that made sure that he instructed the jury to consider manslaughter as well as?
It depends on if that's what the prosecution agreed to. Yeah. So the prosecution can be like, no, we got dude on the slam dunk case. there is no plea deal. We want murder. And the judge,
no, not a plea, just for the jury. When the jury decides guilty or not guilty, they can consider either guilty of murder or guilty of manslaughter.
Right.
Oh, but they do have the end where they do. I'm sorry, they do have the opposite side of whether if they, he's not guilty. That was there. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about I'm just saying the judge was the person who said, "Hey, jury, your instructions are not only murder. I mean, your options are not only guilty or not guilty on murder, but you can also say guilty or not guilty on manslaughter."
Yes,
for the lesser crime.
I think to a certain. I thought there was
because I believe the judge can make that call, not necessarily.
And that was on the option because a lot of people thought he was going to get. I thought he was going to get manslaughter.
I thought
from the like I said after y'all sent it to me, like the 5 minutes I spent looking it up, like I was like, oh, that sounds like manslaughter to me. But I mean, again, after only 5 minutes of research, I'm like,
yeah, it's so much out there. It's so diluted. It's the fucking mixed pot with every fucking ingredient. It doesn't make any sense. And you trying to make sure the pot tastes good.
Only thing I do know for sure is like if this was two white boys, we wouldn't have heard about this.
If it was two black boys, we wouldn't have heard about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not at all in any way. And
I was like, how many people got shot this past weekend? I know 3 of them died. Man. But here in Chicago, like what, 20? I think it's like 22. And the killer part is that we sit around and talk about it now like, oh, well, what was the numbers last week? We talking about lottery numbers. 22, 44, 15, 6. And it's like...
It's terrible.
It is terrible.
We live in a special world to where when it's black on black crime, nobody talks about it. It ain't the talk of the town. Nobody cares. Somebody gets stabbed.
Crime.
And it
black on black crime. Crime is crime.
Crime is crime. It just happens. It happens in our neighborhoods a lot more often.
I didn't like how all these people. I didn't like how all these people online are comparing this case to Kyle Rittenhouse. Doesn't make any fucking sense. Why are you comparing this to Kyle Rittenhouse or George Floyd?
Because they're not interested in the facts.
Yeah, they have their perception of what they want the outcome to be.
You know what? I came up with a thought.
And like even down to that, like, because I know somebody tried to make a real strong case. I forgot the video out. Somebody tried to make a real strong case that George Floyd will be rolling over in his grave. I'm like, this shit doesn't make sense. Like, why are you comparing that case to George Floyd or Kyle Rittenhouse?
And that's one thing I never understood. Is like why I understand the significance of the incident behind George Floyd, but I think it's like these people are conflating. I would say George Floyd in quotes George Floyd the incident versus George Floyd the individual, because like from my understanding, it's like he was not that great of an individual.
He was a goddamn criminal.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
Wow. So put a gun to a pregnant lady and rob them.
He was a criminal. That's not my point. I'm just saying. It's like
tell us how you really
my only my gripe and understanding of like why people keep bringing that, when people bring that up, when certain people bring up George Floyd, is like, hey, you need to differentiate between the individual and the incident. The incident was fucked up, and it shouldn't happen to anybody.
Yes.
Did y'all ever see real quick? Did y'all ever see that whole the whole video, the police body cam videos?
Of what?
Yeah, when it happened, George? But I don't remember. I saw it. Yeah, I saw it when it happened.
All of it.
You saw you saw the fact where he was getting kicked through the car and the whole.
Yeah, I saw all of it. Yes.
So
it's what? Which one?
No. Go ahead, Phil. I want to know what you saw.
Well, I just want to make clear for anyone that's still watching, or you guys, like what happened, as you say, what happened to George Floyd should not happen to anyone. Whether if you believe he died of a fentanyl overdose or he died with the knee on the back of his neck, no one should die that way. Not sure why people think those two ways that he could have died fit any narrative. The only narrative that would have made sense for the tragedy is for him to have died with the knee on the back of his neck. Whichever side you believe. But me personally, I am not going to say George Floyd is a hero. Like he was a criminal, and I think that's what some of the black people are getting to. Like, we are celebrating criminals. King Von. King Von was known for killing people. He rapped about it in his movie. In his music. They called him a hero. And some of these other people that
I never heard nobody call him a hero.
King Von?
I'm pretty sure somebody.
Oh man, they act like
I
King
don't
Von
even
was
know, but
You're
the way
talking
these
about
Negroes run
a
around,
different.
I'm
That's
sure
a
somebody did.
completely different thing.
But-
You're talking about a whole gang culture.
But the same thing.
But they still celebrate.
Right. But the same thing. We're here in the city of Chicago with the same thing with King Von. Around certain
He got his
people.
mural up and everything. I think they're still up there on.
With King Von, you can't say nothing bad about King Von in front of certain people. The same thing with George Floyd, Sandra Bland, and all this other stuff that's going on. You can't say nothing bad about these individuals. All their situations are different, but they're being put on a pedestal that's so high. I hear people talking about George Floyd died for our sin.
That's
just
stupid.
I really hear that.
That's even. See, certain things. This is when you said in the group chat, he was like, when y'all told me about, I was like, he said something about the Carmelo Anthony. I was like, damn. I'm like, I don't know nothing about the Carmelo Anthony trial. I was like, you talking about the basketball player? What he do? What he do? I thought. And then you was like, really? You don't know what the hell that is?
Yeah.
And you was like, well, he has the ability to just seriously not give a fuck.
Right.
And I don't know how he does it, and I wish I could do it.
Yeah, I'm envious.
But I'm like, I'm like, when I hear shit like that, I'm like, it don't faze me. It's like
it don't faze.
It's like rubber man. That shit like bink.
But what do you guys think of Mr. Chow? Mr. Chow and
I want to know where Black Lives Matter is. If there's any other case that has ever happened yet, this would be the case for you to go out.
They tore up their store.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he opened it back up. Yeah, they tore that shit up.
I forgot when it first happened. I want to make
sure.
Oh,
okay,
because they reposted the videos and people got a hold of it and made it seem like they was doing it now because of the verdict, and it was like, no, that's what happened right after it happened.
That was like 3 years ago that happened. Because I was like, I never heard about it until they had the trial and he got off.
I didn't hear about it until you sent it to the group.
But I was like, I find that interesting though. It's like, why am I not now? I was not like I was looking for it or anything. But you would assume, and this is just me, and I ain't trying to hear that, oh, you know what happened when you assume shit. But I would assume that if this accident happened and really like this would be the one incident that people would truly or should, and my suggestion would be like, yeah, I would cause an uproar for this. Because I'm like, where's Black Lives Matter and all these other organizations that should be preaching this?
Are they even active anymore?
I don't know.
They're not active in that state. That's why.
No,
but they're in California.
Legitimately.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That wasn't California. That was South Carolina. I think.
I believe so.
I think it's so. Yeah,
I believe so. But I'm saying just as an actual question, like is Black like the organization, is that still an active? Are they actually still
Black Lives Matter? You got different parent organization in each state, and they all differing from each other. They'll say we are not like the Black Lives Matter that tore up the city in this state, or vice versa. We are not that. We do this, but it's.
I'm asking, are they still active? Like, are they still organizing, protesting, and things of that nature?
Ever since the George Floyd case, it has not been the same. Some of them have filed bankruptcy, but in most, I'm not saying all, but in most, they have found like fraudulent, like.
I'm not getting on that. I'm just asking: is the organization as a .org?
It's not as strong as it is anymore. Is that what you're asking?
Because I'm like, and
people they have
make the signs and shit.
Yeah,
but they don't
exactly.
really mean anything.
They're not.
I'm talking about the actual organization.
They have different chapters, which is spread like that. So you can't say that BLM is one organization. It's just a bunch of scattered. People ciphering off money the best way they can type of deal. Because the original three chicks, it's like they went and bought houses and spent the money. It's like, and everybody keep talking about them. I was like, but they never gave money to Mike Brown family or George Floyd family or anybody else family they were sitting there talking about. They never got money from them.
So I'm like, when you sent that to the thing, I was like, okay. Even though I know my algorithm does not pump that type of stuff to me, I'm like, I was still a little surprised that I never heard about it, because I'm like, this actually seems like a case where it's just like, hey, this is a little fishy. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
As far as my entire knowledge of self defense is like, if a motherfucker running away from you, you can't shoot him in the back and claim self defense.
You can't
As you
chase somebody,
chasing somebody
right.
down, especially after they done already. Well, this was after the fact, but it's like, yo, they proved that the dude didn't fucking steal nothing. It was like he picked up 3 water bottles and he put them back after he noticed the motherfuckers was following him around like fucking don't be a menace. You hurry up and buy. Yeah. He was like, all right, I'm out of here. He put the shit back and walked out. And at that point, it was like, yo, you chased him. Whether the son claimed he's, showed him a gun or any of that, is like you chase this person. Who chases a person that
right.
I heard they got a gun on them? You chased this person for 3 fucking water bottles and then you shot him in the back 150 something yards away from the fucking incident that happened. Yeah. And then he still gets,
apparently he done this twice before. And during the case, they were not allowed to present that evidence from a prior case. Yeah. So that's why this is like one of those, as you say, where was Black Lives Matter? Where was the uproar?
Where was anything? Because
why is Carmelo Anthony case getting all the attention and not this? Like,
because I don't know.
Now you got you got black people saying we're gonna boycott all the Asian business.
Yeah, good luck.
Like really, that shit not gonna happen.
Yeah,
good luck.
Just until the motherfucking the weeds start getting old.
Yeah, it's summertime. That glue loosen up when it get too hot. That glue get to popping. It's just like you not about to not go.
But do you think they really
back in the beauty supply store?
Hell no. And I'll get back to that, but real quick on this child case thing. So, and I've worked retail when I was younger, and even it shows today. And I'm going back to the 90s when I worked in retail. But even then, they told us, it's like, if somebody make it out the doors, they gone. That's it. You can't, I don't care if they make it like they last foot, you on their heels, and that last foot crossed the line. Once they make it out those outdoors, it's no longer your concern.
Right.
It's
even
like
Walmart.
And even Walmart. But even today.
But they got more like, because the parking lot is still technically their private property. So they
but you know what's funny?
Parking lot.
When I took my 40-hour class and I was doing security and shit and like going to club, they say the same thing. As soon as they off the property, even a parking lot, you stop.
I know a dude that got into a fight with a security guard at a strip club. Dude clocked, the security guard came out talking smack. Dude clocked him. The security guard fell, bust his head on one of the little parking stump things and died. They tried to come after dude, but when they found out the dude came out the strip club, they was like, you had no business on being out there. If dude left the establishment, you had no right to follow him out or do anything. So that right there tells you. So this dude decided he's going to chase a kid. And here's the crazy part. So here in Chicago on Michigan Avenue, when they was busting windows and snatching out $1,000 Rolexes and shit out the window, did nobody chase him?
Nope.
Did nobody, and we talking about millions of dollars worth of shit when they do the smash and grab shit all up and down motherfucking Magnificent Mile. What do? Don't nobody chase them. And we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars.
They got insurance on that shit, though.
But hold on. We talking about a kid that may have stolen $4 bottle of water that they did not see. That's $4 that you're chasing out of a store. And this is for the childs. You're chasing $4 out of the store over 150 yards and you shoot this person. To me, that is attempted murder. That is
damn near premeditated.
Yeah, that's premeditated murder because you knew at some point chasing this dude, if it got down to it, something bad was going to happen. And it did because you wound up shooting him over $4 worth of water, which he didn't have. He didn't even have it. So why isn't this highlighted more than Carmelo Anthony and people lighting the streets up? You sitting there boycotting them. It's like, no, that's not it. Dude, even if it was an accident, he should have faced even some type of manslaughter or some type of deal. It's like he shouldn't have got off scot-free. I was like, I would think 20 years for that dude would have been fair because you took it upon yourself to do something that's not your job. You're not the police. 150 yards is off of your property for $4 if he had it and he didn't have it. But you shot that kid anyway. Just like dude stabbed him, you pulled that trigger knowing exactly what a bullet would do to a human body. That dude deserves to be in jail. Black Lives Matter needs to torch that spot, or anybody else that, in that case, how they see it, anybody else that does business with them. And it's true too. So all you black people know, Chinese people do not like you at all.
That's not a.
They do not like
not a news break.
Well,
that's not breaking news.
So I got to back up off the mic.
You sound good. You good?
No,
But they do not like you. Yeah.
Dramatic
So at that point, yeah.
They doing it for
Chinese people also do not like black people.
There's nothing.
I think now.
Hurry up and buy.
I think nowadays, you know, they know, hey, you're gonna come into my beauty salon, you're gonna come get your nails done, you're gonna come into all our shop and pay for all our products. But nowadays, you say you're gonna boycott us, you're gonna open your own black business and stream, come support black business. Where are you getting all your product from? You're getting it from the Chinese.
Damn.
You're still buying them same wigs from them.
That is so
and
true.
they're probably selling it to you for a higher price versus their
That's
own.
not even a probably shit.
Yeah, that's a guarantee. We did that
own
research.
people. But you know, even now, when you used to go into a black business and you say you're gonna boy all Asian restaurant, that shit make no sense. Because the first thing they're gonna do is, you got a black business, give me a discount. You ain't gonna dare say that to that Asian lady. You ain't gonna say that shit. Oh, I'm gonna rob your store. I'm gonna rob all these $100 weaves you got. We see that shit happen all the time. I'm not saying they don't rob the Asian store, but not as much as the black store. You up a sneaker store, you got your new Air Force Ones.
They happen to
I'm gonna rob your shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rob your shit because you black and I'm cool with you. And oh man, you gonna be here Tuesday? No, I ain't gonna be here Tuesday. Okay,
yeah, I'm gonna be here Tuesday. Shit, you won't be here Tuesday.
But it's like
you gonna be mad Wednesday though. Shit,
yeah, that's the
Wednesday.
thing.
You gonna be mad the motherfucker.
Like, I don't see like that. But do you think it effectively worked when they say we're gonna boycott these?
No, because
look at Target. Target did lose like $1 billion some dollars.
Target is, if you go look at the percentage of black that spend money in Target, they already knew it, so they wasn't even worried about it. The amount of money that Target lost over black people not spending with them was nothing. And look what black people are at today. They are right back in Target. Mm-hmm. That shit didn't last long, and the same thing.
It lasted a while. That was like
it didn't last long.
Years.
How many Targets did you see shut down?
You think it lasted?
How many Targets?
How many Targets? Target is too big for that.
Okay,
Target is too big for that.
But you don't think like
and like you said, black people are not the main spenders of Target anyway.
Exactly.
But I was about to bring that up as well when we were talking, saying that they were talking about boycotting, and I was like, that's the thing. It's like the boycotts usually don't last, and it's like, and you can't get solidarity. It is just like, yeah, it's cool for the moment and to put it on, put it up on your Instagram and whatever social media that you're using. Yeah, it's cool for that. But then as soon as you need something, it's like you're gonna go to the fucking Target because it may be convenient, the closest or cheap. Well, it ain't cheap, but you could do that with any store. It's like you want to boycott something, and it's like we don't have that solidarity that we should have at this point. Like we see so many of the other communities have. And it's like, yo, when you see these other communities, they shop in their own fucking communities.
Right.
And it's like, they don't do all, like, yeah, they may, if it's something like, boozy shit like that you just not going to be able to get in your community. Yeah, they'll go downtown and get that. But they shopping and they grocery store shopping and they, grabbing a snack or something. That's stores that are run by their own people in their communities.
Right.
And it's like, we don't do that. We want to do the cheapest price. And it's not going to be in a mom and pop shop because they can't afford to have their prices that low.
And
they're going to drive past like
these
4
black businesses. They're going
to drive past 8,000 black businesses to go to Walmart. And it's like all these places sell the same thing. Yep. It's like you go up down 87th Street. It's like you could pretty much buy just about anything that you need off of it. But no, you're going to go straight past that. Go to
Brazilian horse ass hair that they be trying to buy.
Yeah.
When that shit be on the side, like, girl.
That's because you can get like 8 packs
of it. This is horse hair. You put horse hair on your head now?
Your face would start bumping up and swelling up and shit. Like,
you go to the African stores, it's going to be more expensive than you go to the Chinese store.
But then to me, it's like, that's the thing. So you talk about stores in the hood. So let's take this neighborhood. You go ride down Stony, it's just like, man, what stores, number one, do you even see that you be like, yeah, I would spend my money up in there?
Like a store that's not a brand store?
There's not a brand store, anything that you need. Can you name one store? Say that you had to go out and, I don't know, buy a coffee table. What store would you go to around here?
I'm going online.
Over there. It's I can't think of the name of it, but I know exactly where it is.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, it's not owned by black folks. It's
okay.
Arabs in there.
Okay.
One of them catalog stores?
Right, exactly. That's what it is.
That's exactly what it is. But no,
but we order for you. We order for you and get here next week, buddy.
Yeah. But no, it's like I said, up on 87th Street, like I've seen those stores. I'm like, when I was, in my fish hobby, it was like I was driving out to fucking Petco, and then like they open up that fish store over there on right there on East End or 87 East End. They open up that fish store. I started getting my fish stuff from there. But unfortunately, in the hood, it ain't too many fish enthusiasts. It's like it ain't enough for them to stay in business. So it was like they was only open for like 6 months, and then they closed down. And there's a hat store over there that I go into every now and then to see what kind of hats they got up in there. Like they got like the brim hats and stuff. Because I'm like, I've been wanting to find me a fedora or something that fit on my head and fit on my face and don't make me look like a Puerto Rican or Dominican or something.
That's gonna be rough.
It's definitely rough. That's why I ain't bought one yet.
You gonna get a custom with the skull printed in there?
I don't think they don't do all of that. I've been seeing that shit online. That should be
they gonna be like, "Hey, Chico, I do what you made."
I be watching those.
So I'm like, but just as an example, it's like that's a store that you can go to,
right?
And it's like I go in there. I'm like, man, when I get something I like, I'm gonna buy it up out of here.
My thing is that there's not enough, and people, even like you had mentioned earlier, it's like as a black business, when black people come to a black man, hey man, cut me a deal, let me get a discount, so they don't steal. And there have been numerous women that are open nail shops, do the exact same thing the Chinese people do, and they were complaining that no black women would come to their shop because they were the owners of it. I remember back in the day, right as I was started my dread look, and I would go and the Africans would be like, "Oh yeah, we got no problem getting people," but the girl 2 doors down and nobody come and see her. It's like they do the same thing. But y'all choose not to spend money, and then everybody is always screaming about, "Oh, we need to get together. Black people need to do business." I have no faith in that. When black people say they're going to get together and do something, I have no faith in it. For the simple reason, it's like you don't have the structure, number one, to get anything done. I've been in numerous relationships with business people trying to get business things started that were black. And the first thing I noticed that it's all about ego, and I have no plan. And if your plan is presented, and if they're in charge of it or they feel that they're in charge, they don't want to listen to nobody. I've watched so many people fail for the simple fact it's like you don't want to listen. You know everything. You don't want to communicate. You think that you're the business, and when they get out of here and all shit's failed, it's everybody else's fault. So by knowing that, I know for a fact that right now, there's no person, you could revive Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and bring them back, and they would have no effect on what's going on today. Absolutely zero. You can bring these niggas back to life as a hologram, but whatever the case, they will have zero effect on today. Like they wake up out of coma. Or you can do aliens and recreate these motherfuckers out of DNA or something. It would do absolutely no good.
I don't think so.
Absolutely.
I don't think so. I think that it again, when we were talking about separating those certain type of black folks from different type of black folks, is like, it would, you got the black folks that got some sense, and I feel like it would help with them. And it would
the people
help.
That's trying to get out,
but
they're going to get out regardless.
Unfortunately, that's not always the case because we don't have the resources or the education or the government funding, and that's the thing that tends to slow or inhibit, as many people getting out as possible. Not to say that again, it's like, hey, at a certain point, it's like you can do certain things for self, but at some point, unfortunately, unless you hit them numbers or something, it's like you're gonna need a loan from somebody. You're gonna need a grant. You're gonna need somebody to be like, you know what, I'm gonna give this kid a chance to see what he got. And it's like, and it's unfortunate that it doesn't happen as often as it could or should. And when it does happen, we don't fucking hear about it.
I think it's more of the latter.
And those programs don't get pushed
I
as
think
much.
that's more of the latter of that, because I think that it happens. It does happen more often, and we just don't hear about it. Because every person that I've run into over these years that either had the attitude or the mentality always made it out. I can't think of one person that I'm aware of that I know personally that tried to do something and was in a bad spot and failed. Everybody that I know that came from way worse situations than the average, they made it out because they had that riding on them. They is like, no longer will I be here and deal with the things that I have to deal with if all I have to do is learn how to get out of it. And they learned how to get out of it by hook or crook, but they still made it out and gone. The Negroes that wanted to stay where they were at now, they're still there because they chose a different path. But the ones that want to get out, no, they get out. It's like the Matrix. They'll get out.
Yeah, you get hooked on those government programs. You don't want to give up your Section 8 on your food stamp, on your links. And then now you 75 years old, can't even make no money. But even now, like going back to what you said about Martin Luther King, I believe if Malcolm X came back, I think some of his messaging would still stand the time.
Yeah,
if Malcolm X
found something wrong with him,
they'll
find something wrong with him.
Malcolm X came back, he'd be dead again.
You don't think? Real quick. Yeah, cause I think his message would transcend.
Hey, the government ain't gonna take him out. It'll be some other niggas that'll take.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody will take him out because it's too much.
I truly believe if MLK were to come back alive, or he was in a coma and he came back, just like on that Boondock episode, I believe he will be a fucking Republican. He will not be.
And I'm tired of you Negroes.
I truly believe it.
I've been laying in the bed for 65 years.
Like even Malcolm X. Malcolm X was criticizing niggas for doing dumb shit too.
And like, you niggas are outside juking.
Versus
because when you look at some of the value that he stood for back then, he wasn't about government, the government coddling the household. He wasn't about that. It was about you pulling up your bootstrap, doing what you want to do for your own.
We're talking about Martin or Malcolm?
Oh, yeah. You said Martin.
Yeah, Martin Luther. Yes, I think he.
But I'm saying, why Republican versus a strict independent? And I think that's an issue also. It's like people will go into, if not not Democrat, automatically Republican. And it's like, you don't have to fucking be either one.
Yeah. And you know what? You are right. I did think that he probably would be independent. He probably would not align with any party. But I believe if Malcolm X was here, he would, his messaging would resonate better with what's going on now, because Malcolm X was calling out niggas. Yeah. He was calling out, don't be a damn Democrat just voting the Democrat. And you ain't
no. His message was very straight and clear. And I remember the day I played that for Angie. We was driving in the car. It had to have been like maybe the 2016 election because Angie was younger. But these kids, they understand shit way better. But I was playing that ballot or bullet speech that he gave when he was explaining about the Democrats, and he was telling you give them 4 years, which I thought was hilarious because he just said 4 years. He's like, for 4 years they run the presidency, the House, and the Senate, and after everybody else got taken care of, now here you come. You put them first, and they put you last. These are his words, and this is at 1964. If I'm not mistaken, 1963 and 1964, that he put that out. When Angie sat there and listened to it, she was under the impression that this had just been said. She was under the impression by the exact same things that this dude said over 60 years ago. She was under the impression that this was something new because it's the exact same shit going on. Yeah. Now, if he gave them 4 years back in 1964, here we are in 2026, still crying about the same shit. Nothing worked. There is no reason, there is no possible way that any of us can have a job for 64 years and not get anything accomplished. That's impossible. The average wait time
this whole time, though.
No, it's not that, but they've been preaching this message the whole time. Even if they weren't,
I get you.
Yeah, they've
been like in a charge of black folks,
right? And there's been districts and and places where these things could have gotten done. You don't need to get the entire country. All you needed to start was in one spot and get that moving and shaking so it would set an example on how everything else should grow. But they didn't do that. When they started complaining about these different districts getting chopped up and, oh, we losing black whatever. It's like if you look at those districts and find out how many years, like the dude in South Carolina, what's his name? The black dude, James Clyburn. Did you ever go and do research on this dude? This dude been in office for over like 40 years. And he has the worst district in South Carolina. Like his shit is the ghetto. So what have you been doing for the last 30 years? I think that would be a reasonable question. If you are a voter or a taxpayer or somebody that believes in all this black representation, you would think that you would be able to go and ask dude, like, what did you do for the last 30 years? And he got absolutely nothing to show for it. But these are the type of people that you want to run up behind and promote. Like, no. Nigga, I want to promote somebody like this King Randall dude that gets shit done and shows progress. I don't even know if this dude know anything about politics, but I will vote him in way before I vote this James Clyburn or Kamala Harris. Y'all shit talkers. We already know that. But at least this dude get results. So I would prefer that than sitting there what they talking about today, because we know that's a trap. We know that's a game.
How long you think Umar Johnson school?
Yeah,
he just got it bought. He just said he just officially bought the school and got it built out and stuff, and now he's waiting for. Last time I saw it was just like almost a week ago. He was just waiting for the inspectors to come through, and then he'll be able to start doing.
Here's how you know this is stupid, and everything about that is stupid. That it's been over 10 years. They got people that was sitting there talking about. Well, I was looking forward to going to school, but I'm in college now. I got kids of my own. It's not about the school getting completed, which if it is completed, it's like, who are you putting in there to run this school? Because over the years, this dude has shown himself to be a deadbeat dad. And I'm not sitting here talking about, shit that I made up. I'm clearly what I'm looking at. And this is based off of his kids calling him a deadbeat dad. You sit up here, you say some outrageous shit that I wouldn't say around a kid when you talking about whooping all these mamas, my chocolate mamas, my whatever mamas and all this shit. Like, that's not somebody I would put my kid around, period, for you to be talking about that. Not only that, I've never seen not one video of him talking to another educator that he would have in that school educating these youth. So if you saying something as stupid as shit as I've heard him say, and don't get me wrong, he like a clock. Every now and then you hear him saying some real shit. That's cool. But not to the effect that you should be in front of kids showing them anything. And
you do have people that actually believe the same way that he does. It's like, I don't necessarily, like you said,
I don't agree
like a clock, you write a couple times a day. So it's just like, I don't necessarily agree with everything that he says, and I'm not, as militantly pro-black as he is, and or what is he, Pan-Africanism and stuff. It's like I'm not into all of that. So it's like, but I wouldn't send my kids there. But I'm pretty sure that there's enough, depending on where the school is or whatever. I'm pretty sure there's enough.
But some people are saying
agrees with him.
He's going to run into a wall because he's not. Some people are supposedly hypothetically saying that he's only going to have black students in his school.
He can't even do that.
He can't legally do that, but it's just like, I can't. How many white folks you think finna send their kids to the school anyway?
Yeah,
or any other race for that matter.
Yeah,
that's not even a question into the curriculum. Yeah. It's just like he doesn't shit on white people, but he's like, no, I don't give a fuck about what. I don't give a fuck about white folks.
I don't blame him. Yeah, so I wouldn't blame the white folks. And then
so it's like he's adamant. He's like, no, I don't give a fuck about white folks. Like, I'm all about black folks. So for that reason, it's like, I don't see no white people or any other race of people even considering sending their kids there in the first place. So it's like, that wouldn't be an issue. I'm like, he can't legally say you are not going to be accepted here as a white student. He can't do that, but he's damn sure made sure that no white people would want to send their kids to the school in the first place. And I'm pretty sure that was his, he's a smart dude. I'm pretty sure he's doing what he has to do to get what he wants to get done. And if one of those things is making sure his, school is filled with only black kids,
and the other question is like, okay, so now you got the black kids on there. Where are you going to get continuous funding from?
Yeah, that's what I was going to
say. So it's like, how are you going to pay for all these schools and lights and kids and insurance and teachers and all this
bunch of volunteer work?
Yeah, that's not how that shit works.
It's not.
Yeah. And then he got to take care of that mold problem outside, because when they showed that building, I was like, I know what that brick mold shit looks like, and it is all over that building. That one, it was a video dude took outside, and it's the same thing that happened to the community center on Hosted. And they were looking at it. It was like, dude, this entire wall got to come down. And it wasn't no just like spark. We talking about an entire wall. That shit had to been about a good 30 feet high and moving across here, because it was a gymnasium. And they was like that. And it looked just like that. It had all that looked like black rain shit on the outside of it. And when dude was walking around the school showing that, I was like, dude, all that shit got to come down.
Who, Umar?
Yeah. When it was a dude out there video, and this was after, he had claimed everything was cleaned up and on the up and up.
Yeah, because I only seen the inside.
Around the school,
he was showing the inside and everything.
Oh, buddy, that shit is trash.
No. He showed you what he wanted to show you.
Right, exactly. But when you go and try to get a certificate of occupancy or whatever, it's like they're not gonna. No, dude, you motherfuckers get black lung
in the
disease
video.
up
I'm
in
not.
here.
Obviously, this is assuming that he's being straightforward and forthcoming with the information. That's like I said, that's assuming. But in the video, he was saying, we got everything cleaned up, and he was like, we just waiting for the inspector to come tomorrow or the next day or so or something like that. So I would assume
that's been over a year now.
No, this video just came out.
No, I know, but it's been over a year now that the inspector was supposed to come inspect. I'm just letting you know, this is not the first time the inspector. It's been over a year. I know that for a fact.
If you got the green light for your school to open, he would have made a video.
No, that's what I'm saying. Well, I don't know.
He's been waiting for this certificate of occupancy over a year now. That's what I'm saying. You saying that you just saw the video. I'm just saying that, this isn't nothing new.
Yeah, that video he put out is
So the video,
the video may be new, but him saying that it's about to get over, it's nothing new.
Stuff.
Yeah,
the first one he did like 3 videos like that. Where the first with the water faucet, then another one where he said, "Hey, when the women get out of hand, we're gonna put them in this room so they can get time out." That was the most recent one. But then people were like, "What do you mean you're gonna put black women in the room and have them do time?" Yeah, it was something weird.
It was an old video where he was sitting there talking about the certificate when he was in the gym. And that was before the shit was in the gym. He had walked through, we almost got it through. And this was when they still had the ceiling tiles missing out the shit. Oh, we almost done. That shit been almost done for over how many years? Like 10, 15 years now?
He gonna have to raise the money and pay them teachers, and then you know what's gonna happen? He gonna have to get a board. He gonna have to get all these people.
He's not getting past the mold issue. I'm telling you that right now. He's not getting past that. There's no way you can see it from the outside. And it ain't no regular mold shit. That's that black mold. And you got it in brick. That brick has to come down. It ain't no fixing or treating that shit. The wall has to come down. End of story. So if it's just that one wall, then that's going to set you back. But if you walking down the entire building and all that shit is on it, they're not going to open it. And that's going to be his excuse that, again, the white man is not trying to allow a black man to have a school. So now this is happening to us again, and they trying to shut us down because they don't want the black man rising up. Even though we invented Jesus, airplanes, and space travel, it's like they want to keep us down. Even though we can't keep a Walgreens open in the hood, but they just want to stop our black excellency because they don't want to see the black man rise.
That's pretty fucked up, though.
But wasn't that accurate? No bullshit. When y'all saw that on the news,
I don't know.
You would have saw it on the news.
We know why these Walgreens and all these stores closing down for these essential needs. We keep robbing the shit. Not me, but motherfucker keep robbing these goddamn stores. I think
I'm like it's crazy because I'm like over the past 3 years, it's like I'm just slowly seeing it. Like every time I look up, another Walgreens is closing.
Man,
and I'm like the one on 71st and Jeffrey. No, the
No,
one on
79th.
79th. The one on 79th and Jeffrey was the first one I know that was closed.
The one,
And then the one on 71st and Jeffrey. Then the one on 91st and Commercial. Or 92nd and Commercial.
the one right
And
there
then-
on
and now the one on
95th. No, 95th and Jeffrey was a Walgreens. That been closed for a minute though.
95th and Jeffrey.
Yeah, right across from the McDonald's. That used to be a Walgreens. Now it's a Dollar Tree or something, but I think they
Oh, wow,
closed
really?
it. Yeah, that's closed. Is the
I
one
didn't
on
know that was
71st and
ever-
Jeffrey still open? You said no?
That's been gone.
On 71st?
Yeah, that's been gone.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah,
That was the
yeah, that
second
been
one
gone.
after the one on 79th and Jeffrey.
Yeah,
Not
I had-
75th?
No, it
75th or
was, no, it was
79th and Jeffrey.
79th and Jeffrey.
That's the first one I saw closed. Then the 71st, which I'm surprised that motherfucker stayed open as long as it did.
Yeah, I agree.
I just saw a crackhead getting beat up yesterday. No, day before that. What was that? Tuesday. Like he wasn't like punching it. He was like palming his.
Oh, yeah. He was doing it right. You don't want to break your knuckles.
And I'm like just sitting there in my truck. I'm like,
No, but that's what they say. The palms, you don't want to.
I mean,
Get your knuckles
He
cracked.
wasn't trying to. He wasn't. It ain't like he was trying to like hurt him. He was
you
like he
can-
probably didn't bring his $2 that he owed him from last week or something. He was like, "Well, where my $2 at?"
It can hurt you. But I mean, that's going to be the excuse long run. I was like, because there's no way dude's going to make it past that. And, it's always going to be something. Like I said, and I got no problem with doing this as a show. It's like basing it off solutions because, again, it's like all we hear in terms of people starting podcasts, which is nothing wrong with it. But it's like we don't find solutions and we don't even try to. I would rather sit here and promote positive black men doing something for.
No, you seem to get a lot of joy out of complaining about.
Oh, no. Hold on. Don't get me wrong. Oh, I enjoy talking about a Negro. Don't. Oh, yeah. That's what I wake up
Like
for.
I said, I was thinking about that earlier, and I was like, I don't know if they would actually do it. I
No,
feel
of
you
course.
would be more receptive, and they was like, nah, I want to keep shit them niggas.
Oh, I'll bring his ass up too.
No, I would say I would think you would be more opposed to it. Not opposed to it, but like
No, that's
like
all.
shit.
It's all done in comedy. But you know what? Too is like I was thinking about it when you had first said it earlier as well. Is that the reason why I go in so hard, and I know I scare the shit out of my family when I go because they're just non-assuming. They're just going about their day, and I pop out from there. You know what the fuck pissed me off? Is this nigga? And they be like, "Oh, dude, like back up." But why I do that is no different from what you said earlier. It's like because I have a love for people in general. It doesn't mean you don't have to be black, white, or any of those things. If you a good person, I'm cool with you. And I was like, I hope that I made that known. It was
Not on here, you haven't.
Oh, yeah. Well,
in real life, yeah.
Okay, but all right, but check it now. In real life, you and y'all both know me. I was like, do you see me being that angry and just
that's what I
losing-
was gonna say. I'm like that be so it's so polarizing because I'm like when we on here, it's like a different persona, and it's like,
Right.
dude, especially when we be talking about like businesses and corporate and stuff. He was like, man, yeah, them niggas is fucking over people. I'm like,
Yeah, 'cause
I
nobody
know
like-
you a good person. I'm like, why are you agreeing with this shit? And I know for a fact that you are a very good person in general.
But wait, you said when
When
I
we be
was saying-
talking about like corporate and how they be fucking over people and,
Oh, yeah.
and doing bogus shit, and it's just like, dude, I know for a fact that if you was running the business, you wouldn't behave like that. I'm like, I know you're a good person.
wouldn't behave like what?
Like the way that like the shady fucking corporations do like their employees and be fucking over
Oh,
people.
not my employees.
And,
if
and
I
just
if I
even fucking over other people, like when we were talking about Trump, when he would be fucking hiring companies to do shit, and then they'd spend 4 years helping him build his business, and then at the end he be like, I ain't paying you. You ain't put this one tile right in this back
No,
there, so we ain't paying you.
but hold up, but real quick. So you talked to Todd and Bear now. So in the tech agency, you know how often that happens? You know
No,
how it
happens
is
all the
to be.
fucking time.
Yeah. So it's like again.
My only thing was saying like when like you were saying is like you fuck with people, you fuck with everybody. If you cool, then I'm cool with you.
Right.
That was my
right.
thing. It was like it seemed that has not shown through during our conversations on here.
Oh, no.
So it's just like I know for a fact that you're actually a good person and you would fucking actually go out of your way to help a motherfucker if they were a good person as well. But it's like when we on here, it's just like
And right,
don't
but
seem
you
that
all
way.
negative
but,
shit.
But yeah, but no, it's not negative. You said it earlier is that when you love somebody, you want to see the best of them, and then you get that tough love. And that's what I was raised off of. I wasn't raised off of coddling. I got 4 older brothers and 2 older sisters. I'm the youngest out of 7. There was no coddling.
Absolutely
There
not.
was none of that. It was none of it. I was always told, stop crying. Like, get up. You're only going to hurt for a little while. Get over. Hey, work your way through the pain. So as I've gotten older, it's like, that's my mentality. Whether it's right or wrong, it's like, but that's my mentality. But at the same token, it's no different from what I would teach any child, no different from what I teach my daughter, is that even though you may do some shit wrong, I'm bringing a tough love. Because if I don't, we'll have the exact same situation about the shit that we talking about now.
But you actually still make sure that it's understood. Like, hey, I'm getting on you because I want better out of you.
No, shit, my dad had us terrified.
No,
it's like we didn't know the fuck that nigga was joking or not.
I'm talking about the older generation. We know they had problems. We know that.
my dad had a lot of problems.
Too much butter, too much steak, too many cigarettes,
too many kids, right? Too much drinking,
so 40 bottles.
Yeah,
and shit.
it was like we know that generation. But I'm like, up at this point, it's like I'm telling my kids, I'm like, I just sent both my teenagers long ass messages like, yo, look. I've been fucking like ignoring a lot of shit. Like coming to the house after fucking working 12 hours and it's fucking shit laying around in the living room and your fucking room got shit coming out, falling out of it. And it's like, yo, I ignore shit because I don't want to be here since fucking fussing and yelling all the time. But that shit is done. I'm like, I love y'all too much and I'm probably busting my ass too much to just let y'all just fucking sit around. I come in the house, it's Friday. They know every Friday we clean up the house. Every Friday is clean up. I'm like, I want y'all to, do as much picking up behind yourself throughout the week, obviously. But it's like they fucking kids. So I'm like, I fucking ignore shit and look left, don't look at certain things. Or I'm like, I know they just went down there and they made lunch. I know for a fact if I go down there right now, it's gonna be fucking sliced, the wrapper for the fucking cheese slice. It's gonna be at least 2 of them on the counter. If somebody used some fucking ketchup, it's gonna be a dollop of ketchup on the floor somewhere. So I'm not gonna go in the kitchen right now. Man. I'm gonna stay upstairs. And I'm not, because if I go down there and I see it, I'm gonna get irritated. It's gonna fuck up my rest of my night. And I told him, I'm like, look, that shit is over with. I'm like, look, I fucking love y'all. I bust my ass. I'm like, I want better for y'all, so I'm not gonna be overlooking shit though.
You went to it with a warning, and that's what you meant. And that's no different from what I bring. I bring warnings.
But I told them, hey, I'm doing this because I fucking love y'all and I want better.
Oh,
you go on your tangents. It's like, you niggas ain't shit. You fucking blah, 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 blah. And then that's it. You go that then you lean back and then you're like, okay, y'all talk.
Yeah. But no, I mean that. When I go off on a tangent, I mean it. And I mean it. It doesn't apply to anybody, to everybody. And even though it's like we said, at this point, we saying it for entertainment purposes because the people that this would apply to, they ain't gonna listen to me. I was like, there's going to be very little people that sit there and actually listen to anybody and be like, oh, I've come across a change. And I think I'm going to make a change in my life. You know how hard that is? I was like, I sit there and listen to Carl Jung and different philosophies and different types of theories and stuff like that. And even though it sounds great, but to actually gear your mind to actually make that change and dedication, that's the hardest thing for any. That's why I don't knock people when they try to work out, stop doing drugs, or, whatever it is, vice that they had, that they take an attempt in order to stop doing it. I give them the most credit because at least you're making an attempt to change. And the average person with these mindsets, and the reason that I go off so much is because these are people that are not trying to change, but they are out there, the loudest ones, like y'all was talking about earlier, they're the loudest ones out there not trying to change and sitting there talking the most shit. And they cry. I cannot do crybaby shit. I do not want to be associated with cry. I just don't. The whole thought that you can sit here and fight about some of the dumbest shit, but then when somebody calls you a name or you feel insulted about something, you gonna cry about it? Get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, you know how that usually goes.
Yeah, that's like I said earlier, that's that whole this generation with the victim mentality thing. And it's like it's been a thing in our community for far too fucking long. But now it's like it's reaching a precipice where it's it's everywhere. It ain't even just black folks crying about, being discriminated against. You got a fucking white male, a straight white male out here crying about, being a victim of some sort. Same thing with white women, same thing with black men, same thing with black women, Asian, black, whatever the case. It's like everybody is a victim of something in some way, and they feel the need to fucking yell it to the fucking mountaintops.
That's because you have access to do it now. Everybody can hear you.
Well, yeah, even beyond that, it's just the fact of like, hey, I feel the need to fucking scream about this incident that didn't go my way, or I felt like somebody, may have slighted me, or whatever the case. Yeah. And it's just like, dog, like most people, like you said earlier, like most people ain't even fucking thinking about you.
Right.
Like people
Nobody
going
cares.
about everybody is the main character of their own fucking video.
Yeah, well, where do you think it's like coming from? Because I know I saw a video of this parent, talking to their kid, and the kid was 13-year-old, but the 13-year-old went out to the mall and got her nose pierced at Claire's and trying.
I just seen that earlier. And normally I would swipe off of that shit, but I was trying to discern if it was a skit or not.
And that too, but it kind of made a good point. Like the kid came back home, like, "Hey, I did what I wanted to do with my body," but the mom was like, "No, like you're my child. Like you're 13 years old. Who even signed up on it for you to get your nose pierced at Claire? Because in order for that to happen, like you got to be 18 years old or have a parent or guardian there. But clearly, one of her friends was there, maybe of age, maybe Claire slipped up and didn't do anything about it. But then the mom was like, "Well, you grown now. Like you making choices that."
So to go pack your shit.
Go pack your shit and leave out the house. And of course, it does seem like a skit, but it kind of does give a good point. Like some of these kids are growing up too fast, but who is putting this idea in
You know what?
head?
I blame this for the start, the very start of it, when they stopped letting parents whoop their kids.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
I think that's
100%.
the very beginning of it. And if you want to even go even a little bit before that, the fucking No Child Left Behind shit.
Yeah, that shit was.
I think that was like
I think No Child Left Behind came after. But
that was before, because I remember hearing about that when I was in elementary school. The
Bush came up with the No Child, but
and they didn't start really getting on people like to the point where like the school started telling the kids like, hey, if your parents whoop you, you can call this number and we'll come and help you.
Yeah, no, that happened during my school years. And I remember because my mom told me, she was like, you dial that number, you going with them. She was like, I don't give a fuck.
Maybe it ramped up. Maybe it ramped up then after a certain point. But I believe that was
1-800 got your ass whooped. And it was like she told her, I don't know how she knew I was thinking about calling her, but she's like, hey, you call them, you going with them.
Yeah.
So it's like, you think the ass whoopings are bad? Just pack your shit. So when they get here, hopefully they got
foster parent that don't give a shit about you.
Hopefully
they got
a spot for you to bang out it.
To expand fully, expand. While I was saying, I feel like it started with the stopping parents from being able to discipline their children physically, even though I do agree that there's better ways to deal with it. But sometimes it's like every now and then
you got to put that fear.
Yes, every now and then a belt across the ass can do a lot more than a fucking timeout. But I feel like it started there, and then with the No Child Left Behind, kids figured out, hey, I ain't really got to do shit. I'm still gonna go to the next grade.
Right.
And then there was no accountability there. And then we had this big ass mental health wave that came on, and everybody started blaming their parents for every fucking thing that's wrong with them now, and not fixing it. It's like, yeah, a lot of the shit that you go through in your mind, yeah, it's got roots in your childhood, and something that happened in your childhood or something that your parents did or did not do. Yeah, it's got roots, but it's like, how long are you going to continue falling back on that? It's like, oh, I'm this way because my mama didn't do this or my parents didn't do that. And then that became another way to shift the blame off of me being a fucking asshole and just saying, oh, it's because my parents didn't fucking hug me enough. Again, with the lack of accountability. It's like, hey, you can't get whoopings at home, so you can't be held accountable for the little dumb kid shit that you do at home. You don't fucking fail fucking 8th grade or 4th grade or whatever because you didn't do your homework. So there's no accountability for doing fucking good in school. And now you become an adult and you find out all your issues are your parents' fault, and now there's no accountability for the fucked up shit that you do today.
Right.
But you don't think that if you don't do it now, you're gonna fuck around later, because now we see so many kids that get older and they figure out, hey, I didn't graduate high school, or now I'm fucking up in college. Like, you blaming your parent or people around you are gonna eventually look like nah, motherfucker, like what the fuck you supposed to be doing? Like, I ain't seen you since high school, and now you 37, 40. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, oh, I'm still in my parents' house.
Yeah,
But
you still working at that same McDonald's?
And you still work at that same McDonald's, or you still at this?
Like, you still on fries, nigga? You
Man,
ain't got burgers yet?
I see that shit a lot with some of the people that I grew up with, and then man, how's your mom doing? How's your family doing? And then now, because I always know your mom always wanted to make sure you were doing right. Your dad wanted to make sure you were doing right. Man, your uncle was really cool. He always wanted to make sure you were on the right path. But now, you stop listening to this person, as you say, and then that no accountability is catching up with them. Then when you get older.
Right.
What you doing? I'm just on this government program. I'm just riding it all the way through.
And the killer part is that you end up like these situations that we watching now.
Yeah.
Right back to that Carmelo Anthony shit. That's all this shit applies.
Yeah, there's he didn't have no fear of accountability or consequences for doing something that he shouldn't have been doing.
And I'm like you, I agree. I was like, because I know that I went through it, my siblings went through it. It's like, hey, my mom, she used that Bible and that stick, and she knew exactly what that line said, that spare the rod and spoil the child.
Yeah.
And she was like, Bible say I got to beat you. And that was not always the answer, because we had too much fear. Mm-hmm. And even back in those days, it's like the neighbors could whoop you. If you did some shit out of line,
you catch a pop in the back of your head.
Oh man, you catch more than the pop. You catch the switch too, but we were down south. But you catch the switch too. It didn't matter, but you would catch it. And that was the thing, is that we didn't fuck up anywhere, because you could get it at any given moment. And that does not exist today.
Yeah, and
you got to
know your mama too, so he's going to get back to your mama.
Yeah. And then by the time you get home, you done face like 3 ass whoopings. Yeah, and then it's like, but I'm sorry, but back to today, it's like that does not exist, because now we are more afraid than the kids than they are of us. And it's like, that's where everything gets lost.
When kids got switches.
Oh, yeah,
they
exactly.
got the real switches. They ain't got a fucking branch.
They got the super switches.
Yeah, them motherfuckers,
But it's like, okay, so you lost it. It's like, how do you gain that back? It ain't by, you ain't about to sit no weighing down and be like, hey, I got to get you off the phone and read this book. Nigga, you crazy. Read a book. I told
my kids that what we were saying. I'm like, look, everything I'm doing for you, every time I yell at you, fuss at you, put you on punishment. Back when they was getting whoopings, like every time I whooped you, I'm like, hey, I'm trying to prepare you for this real world. Yeah. And I'm like, you may not like it now, but all this stuff is a consequence of your choices. So I'm like, I ain't finna have you in 20 years calling me after you left out of your therapist appointment saying, hey, Dad, you did this to me, and this is why I can't. Like, nah, man, like, I laid out rules. You chose to break them, and that's why you had a fucking boring ass summer, because you was stuck in your home because you chose to act a goddamn fool. Oh, and it's like, and it ain't like I didn't tell you beforehand that that's what was going to happen.
And that's
I'm like, it's $1 want to hear that shit.
I think it's getting real bad now, because I assume, I'm not sure if it happened, but Mayor Johnson or whoever, the state's attorney, they starting to charge these parents with these teen takeovers.
They should have been.
I ain't gonna bullshit you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They are planning to do that shit at my job, and they put a stop to that shit real quick.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, at my job, they send out emails like updates about protest weather and some of the stuff that goes on social media that affect the neighborhood and the Magnificent Mile and the malls and all that other stuff. And they were planning to do that shit at my job.
Oh, the teen takeover?
Yeah.
And
that shit got stopped.
I thought you meant that they were planning on cracking down and they told them to cut that out.
But
even though I would believe that, but I would just.
And even now, I guess they starting to charge the parents with like a $5,000 fine and some other shit. But then some of the kids out there, at least whatever the fuck I see online, they're trying to say, hey, it ain't gonna be me that gotta pay that $5,000. What you guys think of that? Would you be on the hook, or how would you even handle some shit like that?
I can't put myself in that situation, because I have built this.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, you find out some shit.
Well, no, I get it.
Yeah,
I absolutely get it. But it's just like I told y'all before, it's like, man, even last week or 2 weekends ago. It was like my oldest, she was mad because she was like, man, we can't go downtown. She wanted to hang out with her boyfriend or whatever. And we was like,
I don't know that nigga, so.
No, we need you to come over and hang out next time you come back.
Oh, yeah, more than him. And I'll tell you exactly how I'm going to hang out. Here's how my introduction is going to play.
Because he watched the show.
Oh, don't be my bad.
Get your stank asses up out of here before I cause a nuclear holocaust up in here, fool. Let's go. Oh, come on.
What did he just do?
Nothing.
You gonna have to cut that shit.
Like I was saying last
You said
a couple
for the
weekends
bleeping.
ago, she was like, she wanted to go hang out with him or whatever at I believe at his house, and we was like, no, that ain't happening. And then she was upset. She was like, well, I can't do nothing. I'm just have to sit in the house all weekend. It was like they about to go act a fool downtown this weekend, so it was like we can't go outside. So I'm like, I'm in a lucky and a very privileged position where it's like, hey, we able to have, a teenager that will tell us like, yo, yeah, they about to go do some dumb shit downtown. So
Yeah, that is.
I ain't going outside. So to get a phone call, to be in a position where I get a phone call saying, hey, we got your kid from, we got it on camera jumping on a car or kicking in a window, or I couldn't even imagine what my reaction would be because that's so far from the reality that I actually live in.
Yeah.
I probably be like, oh, keep him.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, I got to keep them feeling
She got
about
an ID
the
on her. We know your address.
Yeah.
This coming to your house
We in
from
a
the
court
city of
date.
Chicago.
Yeah.
I'll see you at
They'll
court.
be like,
I'd have asked, like, how long can you keep her? Like, how long can she stay there for?
No, she can't stay there too long.
send them to
fucking-
2600
No.
California.
Lockup is completely different from county. Don't get it twisted. You in the lockup,
Shit,
you
even in
understand?
the lockup. It's
No,
still-
it ain't. No, you
Okay.
cool in the lockup. Ain't nothing happening to you in the lockup. In the precinct, no, you straight.
Mm.
When you get the county or you get the processing, that might be something different. But you in the
You gonna
You
really,
all
you gonna
right.
really fuck
Well, yeah,
around.
so
now
I'm
when
like-
they get that car, they got to go to juvie or something like that. Then that's a different feeling. You like, wait a second, man.
No, that's something.
You meet that other team that been in and out and know the game and cool with the guard. Then you're like,
Yeah, they're just like punching on people. Like, yeah, you about to go learn some shit. But again,
I'm
that's
saying-
a learning lesson too. It's
Yeah,
like that'll teach you.
I was seeing videos when King Von was alive. It was like when I guess he had popped for something and they had him in the holding cell with a bunch of other dudes and like it was some niggas from another gang or whatever. I think one of the GDs or something was in there and he was like, "Oh yeah, that's him right there." And they was cuffed up. And he was able to slide his hand out of the cuff. He went over there and pieced dude up.
Damn.
So
Yeah, you
I'm
gotta
like,
check
nah,
them
they
cuffs.
fucking-
Sometimes that shit
they
happen. But yeah. But one thing I want to touch back on. Well, I'm sorry, because I didn't finish your last statement. My bad.
I probably forgot, so I don't.
But you were asking like, as far as the parents being held accountable and like how would you feel?
Oh yeah, as
if
far as
you,
the
you know,
parent being held accountable,
if you
it
had to
just-
pay that fine or
some of
something.
the because it just spams that happen out of nowhere. These kids be downtown, they having a good time. I've been there, and you do some dumb shit, or you see somebody raging in the store, and you be like, "Man, that was a new pair of Jordans right there." You just go in there and grab that shit, but you just happen to get caught. You know how that shit goes. As soon as I do it, I get caught. I see all my friends do this shit all the time.
That's why I stopped doing shit because I started feeling like that. If my friends be doing shit, then as soon as I do it, I get caught.
You get fucking caught in there, and now you.
I still fucking remember the fucking kids. We was outside. Well, they was outside breaking bottles. It was like a field or something, like a vacant lot. And they just finding bottles and throwing them in the air, let them fall down. Because it was gravel and stuff, so it would still break in the vacant lot or whatever. So they was doing that and shit, and I was like, "Oh, that looked fun." I went over there, and I'm just watching for a minute, and I kid you not, I picked up one bottle, I threw it in the air, and I turned around, and as I turned around and waited for it to fall down, it fell. I looked up, and my dad was walking down the street.
Oh man!
I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And everybody else was gone. Everybody else that was out there, they was already gone. I'm like, what the fuck kind of shit is this? And from that point, I think that was the last time I got in trouble for something, like real trouble. Like before that, and then same thing with throwing rocks at buses and shit. But I think that was the last time I got in trouble.
I threw egg that bus.
Yeah, because I'm like, I feel like every time I do some shit, I get caught. So I stopped fucking doing shit, or I stopped getting caught doing shit.
So there you go. I want to say good for you, but good for you.
No, I mostly stopped doing shit. So you fucking kid, you still don't do shit.
Right.
Mostly
I
these
stopped
kids,
doing
man.
like shit that would actually get me in real trouble.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that was a good thing because you didn't slide down that path of shit that would have really, really got you in trouble.
What you get caught for? So you say you feel like you always want to get caught.
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, I was doing a bunch of I used to throw eggs at buses and shit. Go downtown, and they used to do that dumb thing where they run up in the store and try to take shit off the rack and run out. I ain't
smashing good.
I ain't fucking doing that dumb shit. That shit make no fucking sense. There's a bunch of other shit I ain't finna incriminate myself.
Yeah,
So.
I was about to say if that's all y'all did, I'm sitting over here like,
it was like this is not up to pull my guts out and tell them.
Yeah, it's not that type of. It's definitely not that type of podcast. But I want to say one thing, and this is going back to how it originally started with everything that's going on in society right now. So they got this thing out with black fatigue, because I know I'm definitely going through it. And again, it's like, I know y'all think that I'm angry, and I'm really not. It's just a way to communicate the frustration that a lot of people are seeing. And again, there's no solution to it. So yeah, hell yeah, you're going to be mad about it, because if everybody is going to, assume that black people are this type of way and black people keep acting the way, of course you're going to be mad about it. Because not only are they doing anything to benefit themselves, and to a way it doesn't benefit you as people judging you, which I do not feel. I don't give a fuck. I was like, and you know it. It's like, I'll be anywhere and I do not care what a person thinks about me. It's like the last thing I'm thinking in my head is that, oh, they looking at me because I'm black. That doesn't apply to me. But what's going to happen now, moving forward, by all of this happening and the black fatigue is settling in, what we're going to see now is a change of course of how white people and other races really respond to black people. And I want to put this out here in the field, because I put the other thing out here in the field, but this is really going to show an effect, because now all the people that were willing to help, they just going to be like, you know what, fuck you niggas. And we just tired of trying to help y'all. So it's not a benefit to us anymore. And the way that you can truly see this is that look at what happened with the illegal immigrants thing. Is that everybody turned their focus off of black people and started focusing on the illegal immigrants, because now we got to get them help. They still in New York have a budget for legal defense for illegal immigrants. Just the other day, they passed a bill here that illegal immigration, they can go to city colleges and Illinois state colleges now. Mm-hmm. So it's like their focus is shift. So all these black people out here crying about dumb shit, you're about to be ignored, and it's really about to hurt you, because everybody is not going to fuck with you now. And then all this shit that you talking crazy about white people can easily cut you off. And here's how it'll affect you, because you don't have shit. You don't have businesses. You don't have banks. You don't have grocery stores. You don't have any type of income. You don't own any properties or any of this shit. Pretty much 90% of black people are dependent on what somebody else gives them. And almost 100% of that is going to be somebody white. If there's somebody out there that works for a black-owned business and they got to go to a black-owned bank or a black-owned grocery store, please, don't even send it to me. Secretly get it to me so I can just look it up.
Keep that up.
Because you put that information out there, some Negroes are going to be like, well, this is our Africa. No, just send it to me. But I know it doesn't exist. But by the fact that this part does exist, the fact that everything else is owned by the people you claim to hate so much, when they cut you off, is going to be ridiculous. You think it's bad now, you are going to be crying nonstop, because by their own rights, they don't have to fuck with you. If I was a white person, I would not fuck with you. If I was Asian, I wouldn't fuck with you. If I was Mexican, wouldn't fuck with you. None of these people like you anyway. So now, just so y'all know, so keep going crazy and keep, the white man is the white man. Okay, the white man, give him all his shit back. Give him all his shit back. All the house loans, car loans, give him all his shit back then if you hate him so much. As a matter of fact, why are you niggas still here? Why are you still here in the United States? People that complain the most, that's the other thing. Why haven't you moved out? Like, if you go to a restaurant and they take a shit on your plate and give you the bill for it, you mean to tell me you're going to stay at that restaurant and keep coming back until I ain't coming back until I get my cheeseburger on the plate? The fuck out of here. I'm not coming back. I'm not sitting there to wait for you to pee in my cup. You took a shit in my plate. Now I'm going to wait for you to pee in my cup. No, I'm out. But Negroes will stay here in the United States, claim shit is so fucked up for them and ain't nobody treating them right, nobody like them, but we gonna stay here. Get the fuck out.
Black people, we love chaos. We love being
And it tastes delicious and chicken. That's why I went to Jules and I made sure them dudes was in the back arguing. And I was like, yes, I'm about to get me a 12-piece. And it was delicious.
Like this all it is. It just seems like it's a big distraction all the time. It keep you focused. Now you worry about this shit with Carmelo Anthony. Now you missed out on his money. Guess what? They probably finna announce something next week and you could have invested, but you worry about the Carmelo Anthony shit and then Mr. Child shit. Meanwhile, Trump said the award finna be over. Stock market went over 1,000 points.
Yeah, he say that shit every 35 minutes.
Like you looking up and down. War over. It's not, shot another missile. Oh no, it's back over. The Panama Canal. Like all this bullshit that's going on. Like what the fuck going on?
Here's some more interesting bullshit that you hear nobody else talk about, and we had talked about it earlier. The Southern Poverty Law Center. Did you see the court here, the Senate hearing for that? When they were sitting there asking dude, like, hey, where did this money go? Why did y'all give $4.1 million to the KKK? It's like, why did the dude that y'all set up in there was getting all this information? Why did y'all funnel so much money through him? And he moved up in the KKK and flat out told everybody like, hey, I'm recruiting people. And it's like, so what do y'all want me to do? And they told him, we want you to stay in there. It's like the SPLC is the Southern Poverty Law Center. These niggas ain't the FBI. They're not the DEA. They're not the ATF. You're not a fucking legal law association. That means that all that information that you would have been getting out of the KKK is fucking worthless because you're not badged. You're not given any rights by any type of organization under the United States government to do shit like this. But you went and took donors' money, which they were asking them about. It's like you went and took donors' money. This is what the dude asked the question. You went and took donors' money. When the donors were giving you the money, did you tell them that you were going to also give money to the KKK? Dude's like, due to our current situation, we cannot answer that question. Dude's like, okay, let me ask it this way. If I were to come to you and said, I want to donate $1,000, and any time in that conversation, and you're going to tell me that you're going to give it to the KKK or one of these other organizations you're supposedly fighting, due to the current standing of the motherfucker wouldn't answer the question. So while all you niggas are out here crying and waving about flags about how the own people that you are sitting here running behind are selling you out. They are giving money to the very people that you claim hate you so much. How make that make sense?
Well, you don't think that it's not being put out in the zeitgeist like that? It's not being pumped out and it's not being put on the news stations. It's not being shared across social media.
I found it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the narrative. Just like I said last time with the
yeah, that's my point. It's not a part of the narrative.
Minnesota bullshit. You know, you're allowing me to do what I want with this money. And you can't do anything about it. You're allowing me to get this money and take it and send it over here. I'm talking to you, black people. You giving me this money. You know that I'm giving this money to the KKK. And I'm still going to do it. And I'm telling you, give me another $1,000. Donate again. We trying to help your cause. But I'm donating it to the KKK and the neo-Nazi. And you're not going to do anything about it. Because this issue is not that important for you. You worry about this other shit that's going on with Carmelo Anthony. That gets your attention. That get all the talk show hosts. But I'm giving your money to the KKK, and yet you say the system is racist against you, and we getting pushed back generations because of this case. But you're not worried about the money that's going to the very same shit that you're complaining about. Like you said, it doesn't make any fucking sense. A distraction. Another distraction, a part of the distraction. Because Southern Poverty, the SPLC, they're still in business, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Why fuck?
Because that shit, like I said, that shit is not. That's not gonna reach the people. That's not. It's gonna go. That's gonna come across certain people's feed who have, algorithmic history of looking into like. Maybe like conspiracy or not conspiracy, like conspiracy theory as a whole, but like people that like fucking sneaky shit going on. And it's like if you look into that type of shit.
Well, I must have a sneaky shit feed because I found a lot of sneaky shit. Yeah. And the killer part is that it's not hidden. They don't hide any of this. It's like they have a Senate hearing meeting and you can go actually read the transcripts of it. So, I mean, if you that type of bored-ass person, which, sometimes I find myself being, but when people start to make certain cases, I always like to say, like, hey, I put it to you like this. It doesn't bother me being right or wrong. Okay, so if you come up with a point, say you like, oh, well, XYZ should happen with this, and that's your perspective of where you stand, right? But I ask a question that pertains to that. I have a question pertaining to what you're talking about, and it's a legit question, and you don't have the answer to it, then that means you're not 100% sure of the statement that you made. And I find that with myself. I'm not saying by any means that I always come off correct. I just want to know the answers that make logical sense to me so that I can find an agreement with you. Cortland is 100% knock him out the park every time we have a discussion, and I lead off a certain way. But he's quick to be like, okay, well, I'll see it in this. And if I have a question about it and me personally, I can't answer it, then I don't know this shit. Then I have to review what it was that was asked or told to me to make sure like, oh, okay, well, now all the puzzle pieces fit and I should have been over here when I was over here. So it's not to be a right or wrong type of thing, but for people out there claiming that they know every damn thing, it's like, okay, if that means that you should be able to answer any and every question about this subject that comes to you. If you can't, stop talking shit that you saying that you know it. Oh, I know this. I know, man, there's so many. Oh, I know because I had somebody, my cousin, them too. You don't know shit. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I was laughing. I was watching a podcast. Was it Deion Cole's new podcast? Funny Knowing You.
Oh yeah,
having people come on and talking to him and stuff. And at the end of his podcast, he like has like a list of questions that he, like a rapid fire type of thing where he asks, everybody these same questions. And one of them is like, name 3 things that annoy you. And then I'm like, I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, yeah, I think one of my things is people like being saying confidently incorrect things.
Huh? Like Dave Dash told Charlemagne, punk, you know how confidently stupid you sound right now?
But you're talking about old boy.
And then I'm like, it'd be like certain things, especially if it's something that I happen to have a little knowledge, because I'm by no means like fucking like a professor of anything, but it's like I fall down rabbit holes, and it's like for me it's like I can't fucking come out of that rabbit hole until I like have a good grasp of whatever it is that I'm thinking about, or in that moment. And it's like I may not even retain all of it, but in that moment it's like I'm stuck. It's like I can't fucking stop looking into this and like falling down side holes and stuff like that. So then it's like if I happen to do one of those things and something that I do retain happens to come up in conversation or happen to see somebody else talking about, and I'm like, there's an actual example, but I'm fucking drawing a blank on it. And it's like somebody will say something that I just know for a fact to be incorrect. And it's like this person has like a platform, and I'm like, look at the amount of views that the thing has.
Yeah,
got
I do this.
A couple 100,000 views or a million of views or whatever. And it's like I know for a fact that the thing that this person is saying is wrong.
Yeah.
And it's just like all of these fucking people, and then you go into the comments, she's like, "Oh my God, it's so right," and X, Y, and Z.
They feed into it because they love it.
Yeah, and then it's just like, or they just don't know. Not even they love it, they don't fucking know, and they got somebody telling them something that they never heard themselves, and then they take it for fucking gospel, and it's like that irks my soul, and especially when they mix it in, because I see a lot of people do this. And people mix certain things in with facts, but then they still slide in they bullshit, especially when it comes to things like nutrition and body health and stuff like that. And it's just like, yeah, you got free radicals in your body, and if you drink X, Y, and Z, or you take, eat these types of foods, it's like they do this and they block out that and do this, and it's just like you using words that are actual real things, but it's just like, yo, that shit is not how that fucking works.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, I mean, it may be to the point that they that's how they think it is.
That's my point. It's like you're saying some shit that you have probably heard from somebody else, because if you actually did actual research and looked into it and like from an academic standpoint, you would know that this shit is not real. So it's like you've had to have heard this from somebody else, and anecdotally they've told you about some stuff that they've heard or they've seen, and then you try it and it happens to work, but not for the reasons that you are saying. So it's just like you mixing in truth with some fucking fairy tale bullshit, and then now you got people out here thinking that you can drink fucking what is that?
Electrolyte water?
No. This what's this shit? Sea moss. It's like people out here fucking thinking that sea moss is the goddamn fucking fountain of youth, a cure to all diseases and shit. And it's like, no, it's fucking not. It's very good for you. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like you're not finna just start taking sea moss and then all of a sudden everything that's wrong with you is gonna be healed. It's like sea moss got some good shit in it. Don't absolutely, like I said, don't get me wrong. But it's like, yo, you mixing in this bullshit and then you hear something because Left Eye said some shit 30 years ago and Dr. Sebi was doing some shit 20 years ago and all of a sudden it's a big wondering about how he died and all this other stuff. And it's just like, yeah, two things can be true at once. Like, yeah, this can be good for you, and it can also not be what they're claiming it to be. It's just like there's science behind this thing, and it's like there's no reason for you to sit here and start pushing these things as fact and having people believe this stuff. And then it's always a coincidence that they got a link in their bio to some supplements that they fucking created.
Yeah, well, that's money grab then.
Right. So, and it's just like, yo, stop fuck. That's something that fucking irritates me. I'm like, I hate that shit. Just say you don't know or don't fucking talk about it.
I think people cling and fall in love with a lie that's comfortable, that as long as it keep them in a place to where they feel like they are right. And I think Black people does this a lot, especially when it comes to the injustice and the emotional trigger thing that goes on in the world we live in, even right now, because I can tell you a comfortable lie with conviction that I believe the comfortable lie because it gives me comfort. The same thing where, I would rather accept a comfortable lie than the hard truth, because I don't like the hard truth. The hard truth doesn't fit in my narrative. The only thing that fits in my narrative is the comfortable lie, because it gives me comfort and I can sleep at night knowing that I believe this lie, even though this lie doesn't hurt you, me, or the family, but it gives me comfortable, or it keeps me in a comfortable position to where I can keep going on with my life.
And even deeper than that, it doesn't require you to change.
It doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That would be a lot of people then.
Yeah. And it doesn't require you to change. And as long as I'm not hurting nobody, until I'm forced to where, hey, I'm still fat, or I'm still at the job and I haven't moved up, or I haven't really strived in life. Those are some of the things that eat away at people's lives. And it also goes down to like being addicted to drugs. Like, as long as I'm not hurting nobody, I'm going to keep doing this heroin, keep doing all these drugs, alcohol, but I'm comfortable with it, until you end up dead in the hospital, then you're forced to change.
And then your folks or your family got to pay for the bill.
Yeah, and then it's, all right, we are.
Yeah, no, we got to
Good thing I stopped doing heroin, so. All right.
This has been another episode.
It's a long one.
And if I sound angry and black, it's because I am, and I don't like none of you niggas. So
just
good
them
night.
new niggas over there.
All right. And then quote, get out the government cheese.
That is
Get out the government
that's
cheese.
Y'all
a
know where the
lifestyle.
fuck government cheese came from?
Have you ever tried to make a grilled cheese sandwich with government cheese?
No.
You know how hot you have to have that skillet?
But now, this is a legitimate question. Do you guys know where government cheese came from?
Well, I know where the idea of it came from.
I thought it was
dating
from
back to
that program.
the milk and cheese program that started back in after the Great Depression. When they started passing out rations and programs to for people that couldn't afford it.
Yeah. So now, before that, like where the actual cheese came from.
I
forgot.
So government cheese
wasn't Wisconsin.
Is regular old cheese. It ain't nothing different than other American cheese. Government cheese came because during the Great Depression, they started forcing farmers to continue creating milk, and they had a surplus of milk. And then they were like, okay, we got to do something with this milk. Fuck it, turn it into cheese, and we'll store it. So then it just started being stored, and they had fucking warehouses full of goddamn cheese, and it had nothing to do with it because the market didn't demand cheese like that. So then they was like, all right, fuck it, let's just create this program and give it, give it to people who,
Has it always been Velveeta, or it's just been?
Shit, that wasn't no Velveeta.
Velveeta is a brand, but you thinking about the block that it comes in.
That's what I think. Good government cheese.
That's all it is.
Buddy, it was a block of cheese, no bullshit. It was like this motherfucking big. It came in a box.
Man,
and I ain't talking about a wrap box. Yeah. No, it wasn't sealed. No, it was in a box. It was like somebody took a hunk of cheese, put it in a box, and they gave it to your ass. And then you had to get home with that raggedy ass cheese slicer, and you had to slice that motherfucker thin as hell if you wanted it to melt. I remember doing experiments many a days, sitting there with like damn near a flamethrower, like this shit don't melt for nothing.
Because they was so concentrated because they had to use a lot more. Had to use up all the milk, so they had the cheese was so thick and concentrated.
That shit would catch on fire.
I may be oversimplifying it for we know it's FactYoFeelings, so I'm like I may be a little bit off.
You ain't gotta do none of that.
I'm just talking about the details of where the program and all. But I'm like that's what I read, and I'm like that's fucking crazy.
I'm talking about the consistency of that shit.
Warehouses of big ass blocks of cheese, and they was just like, all right, fuck it, give it to the po folks.
I wouldn't be surprised if motherfucker they on my autopsy day, they'd be like,
I think it's still
what is this here? What's this smell like to you? It smells like government cheese. Like, holy shit, that must have been in this system for 42 years.
Could you imagine that shit still in our body?
It's just regular old cheese.
Yeah, that shit over there hugged up on my spleen and shit. Like, all right, cool. We out.